What is up, woke family? It's your boy Wokey Bucks, and I'm back again with another live stream. Listen, guys, we got a bunch of good videos to react to today. You feel what I'm saying? Really woke live stream. I'm gonna give y'all my thoughts. We're gonna really have discussions tonight. We're gonna get into this video. Let's get into it, man.
Thank you all for 200K. If you want to support this channel, please consider making a donation or clip my videos and share it on all platforms. Don't forget to tag me.
Is it easier for a man or a woman to acquire sex?
It is much easier for a woman to acquire sex.
Why is that?
Because we choose. We choose whether or not we have the option of whether or not we're gonna let a man have sex or not.
Facts. Facts.
I don't think that that's necessarily true.
Don't women typically consent to sex?
Consent goes both ways.
Consent definitely goes both ways, but you already know that guys are gonna consent because he wants to sleep with as many women as possible. We know that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, let me ask you this. What's the longest that a man's ever made you wait for sex?
You know what? It's happened. I don't know.
But does that typically happen?
Maybe. Oh, no, it doesn't typically happen.
Okay, so
Exactly.
isn't it fair to say that women generally control access to sex more than men
If
do?
a woman wants sex, she can get it. If a man wants sex, doesn't mean that he can necessarily get it.
Okay, so is it safe to say that women typically control access?
Does she not realize that she's proven this point even more? Doesn't that mean that you have the leverage when it comes to having intercourse with a man? So what point are you trying to prove? Like, real talk. Like, a lot of these women don't think before they talk, and it's sad. Like, it's really, really sad. Like, if you're gonna make a point, make a point. If you're not gonna make a point, then be quiet and listen and understand what is being said to you before you speak. Real talk.
Access to sex more than men do? Because it's easier for a woman to get sex than it is for a man?
Real talk.
I don't like the phrasing that you're boxing me into, but
But I mean, would you have a different?
That's the problem. This is the problem. She cares more about how it makes her feel. Clip that if you want to. How it makes her feel more than the reality of the situation, bro. And this is the issue. Real talk. This is the issue. It's feels before reels.
Way of explaining it? I mean, is that not generally true?
I think that
I mean, if it's easier for a woman to get sex and it's harder for a man to get sex, we can't conclude that women typically control access?
They do.
okay.
It's easier for a girl for sure.
Yeah, guys are thirsty.
Since it's harder for men, should women be surprised that guys have lower standards for sex than women?
Not really, because I mean, they just want to get it in, right?
Yeah, real quick. I don't know.
Don't women have the privilege of being more picky because they have more options?
Real talk.
I mean,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
Don't women have the privilege of being more picky because they have more options?
Yes.
Have you ever heard of an incel?
No.
Involuntarily.
Incel?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Have you ever heard of...
How would it's complicated, bro. Like, I know you know the answer to this question. I like the questions you ask, bro, but let's be real. How would a woman know what an incel is if she's not an incel? What is an incel? Somebody who's involuntarily celibate, which is men, right? I believe there's a statistic out there that says that 1 in 3 men between the ages of 18 and 31 have either not have intercourse in 1 year or have never had any intercourse at all. That just goes to show you that most men are not having sex. You know what I'm saying? It just goes to show you, real talk.
Of an incel?
No.
Okay, incel stands for involuntarily celibate, and it refers to a person who can't get any sex. Who is more likely to be involuntarily celibate, men or women?
Men.
Men.
Facts.
I think it's 1 in 3 men are not having sex right now.
See?
In
What
today's
I just said, I
society,
literally
if a
said that
man
exact
goes
same
up to a
thing.
woman and asks her for her number or Snapchat, he's looked at as like a creep and a pervert. But if a woman goes up to a man, it's 100% okay, which is
Facts.
not okay to me.
Why are men shamed for not being able to get sex, but also shamed for trying to get sex?
Facts.
That's a good question. I think it's the way they go about trying to get sex, because women want relationships. Well, I can't say all women, but
Most.
a good amount of women want relationships,
talk.
and when you meet the men that just want sex, it kind of tarnishes everything.
Is it fair to shame men for being incels when women are the ones who control access to sex?
I don't think you should shame anybody for anything.
Is it fair to shame men for being incels when women are the ones who control access to sex?
No, not at all.
Isn't that victim shaming?
Yes, 100%.
Isn't every man who's been rejected temporarily an incel?
Yes.
Is it fair to portray incels as lazy, immature losers because they don't conform to women's standards and selectivity?
That's a
No.
fact.
No.
Yes.
No.
Fucking incel.
If a man can't get sex, he might be made fun of and called names just for that. And then, well, also I think if a man does get a lot of sex, it might be like everyone praises him also for getting a lot of sex. So I don't really think that there's a whole lot of men out there that are getting shamed for having a lot of sex.
Is it fair to portray incels as lazy, immature losers?
Hold on, I'm not even trying to be disrespectful. You know what? I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say it. Let's just continue.
Because they don't conform to women's standards and selectivity.
Negative.
No.
Everybody is built different and has their own standards in life.
If a man does conform, does that make him a simp?
Negative.
No.
It definitely does make him a simp if he conforms, because he's not standing on principle. If a man doesn't stand for something, he falls for anything. Let me say that again. If a man does not stand for something, he falls for anything. As a man, you need to stand on principle. You need to stand on standard. No cap.
Why is it more acceptable to shame men for having low standards versus shaming women for having unrealistic high standards?
Real talk.
That is right. I'm speechless on that one.
Oh, yeah. You kind of got me flabbergasted on that one.
Right, you're fluttered. Don't know what to say.
Damn. Survival of the fittest. Whoever seems like they're about to get it in, gets it in, and they continue their genes and whatnot. But besides that, like, I don't know.
How are they how are they continuing their genes when majority of the women are on birth control and they're literally killing God's creation through Roe v. Wade? If you get my point, you know? Come on, man.
So would you say, based on that women ultimately control the evolution of society?
Yes.
Based on the men that they choose?
Yes, it's because it's like the mating rituals. Like they say yes or no in most breeds.
So then how are we living in a patriarchy where men have all the power?
We're not.
Just because that's how society was set up when women were supposed to stay home and take care of the kids and the guys went out and did all that shit and we're supposed to rely on them.
What is the longest you've got?
Are y'all still staying at home and taking care of the kids? No, I want to be strong and independent, right? I want to be strong and independent, right? Come on, bro. Let's be real.
On without having sex?
Hey.
A year?
What is the
Cap.
longest by choice you've gone without having sex?
A day.
A year?
Cap.
Probably like 18 years.
What is the longest by choice you've gone without having sex?
Probably like a month.
Who's more likely to lie about how long they've gone without sex, men or women?
Women.
Women for sure.
Don't men lie about getting more and women lie about getting less?
No. Yeah.
Definitely.
Don't
do.
men lie about getting more and women lie about getting less?
Yes.
Why?
Because we're seen as being tarnished for the more sex that we have.
Why are women who sleep around seen as sluts while men who sleep around are seen as studs?
Because men don't want to see that their woman that they have prospect to be interested in has been with every man.
Could it be because it's easier for a woman to be a slut?
No,
Well, don't women control access to sex?
they do, but there are many male sluts. They're just being praised for being that way.
But isn't it harder for a man to be a male slut than it is for a woman to be a female slut?
A man can never be a slut. Why? Because you as a man, if you're able to have sex with a lot of women, you have to bring some sort of value to the table. That is the reality of the situation. So you're not a slut if you're a man. Real talk. But if you're a woman, you're considered a slut. Why? Because you have to bring some sort of value to the table. Well, you don't have to bring value to the table as a woman. That's the reality, if we're to speak on it, you know?
Depends on the man.
Wouldn't you say that the high-value men with lots of options are rare?
Yeah.
So then wouldn't you say that it's more likely for your average woman to be a female slut than your average man?
Yes.
Yes.
Women sleep with who they want, men sleep with who they can.
Facts.
What's the difference between shaming a woman for being a slut and shaming a man for being an incel? In other words, why are women shamed for having too much sex while men are shamed for not getting any sex?
Well, women can't have sex without being attached in some way. It's just
Fact. That's a fact.
in our innate.
What do you mean they can't have sex?
Not that they can't have sex. They can't have sex without having some type of emotional attachment.
Why do you think men are more likely to be able to have sex without feelings than women?
Because it's just within their nature. It's testosterone. Real talk. Women, they have to feel that connection, aka the vibe, for them to be able to give it up to you. No cap.
Because you guys are made to procreate.
The name is involuntarily celibate, so the man is not choosing.
Yeah, he doesn't have a choice for that one. But us females, we definitely have a choice to be a slut or not.
Well, because women control access to sex.
I control whether you take my clothes off or not.
We do.
Don't women have a choice to be a slut, but a man doesn't have a choice to be an incel?
Yeah.
So then why would it be worse to call a woman a slut than it is to call a man an incel?
I don't know why it would be worse.
But our society labels it as worse.
They label being an incel worse than being a slut?
No, yeah, definitely. I'm pretty sure they do.
Well, in other words, a lot of women resent being called a slut when they have
Correct.
a choice to be a slut.
Real talk, and a man doesn't have a choice to be an incel. That's a fact.
But it's okay for men to be called incels when men don't have a choice to be an incel because men don't control access to sex.
I think men don't have the choice on what they're doing, but nowadays with social media going the way it is, women have actually embraced slut. And that's the problem.
Do you think women today are more interested in relationships or hookups?
Hookups.
You know, I would say more hookups today.
Yep.
Why?
They want to be strong and independent and free of any man according to what they have to say. You know what I'm saying?
Because they have all these rappers, you know, saying, influencing them, like trying to, basically they're trying to play the role as men, you know, they're trying to play us out of our money, and it's bullshit.
Me personally, I'm more interested in relationships. Women nowadays, I think, are more worried about their careers and hookups.
So if women are more interested in hookups, how can a man let a woman know he just wants to hook up without making her feel like a slut?
Exactly, you can't. Now, I'm not encouraging hookups. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't encourage it, right? But you're entitled to do whatever you want to do. I just don't encourage it, right? We encourage men, if anything, to men and women to really get to know each other well. And if anything, you got to be married. But at the end of the day, you're entitled to your opinion.
There isn't a way, no matter what.
So aren't we kind of damned if we do, damned if we don't?
Yes, you are.
Would you rather have the best sex you've ever had or the best food you've ever eaten?
Best food you ever eaten.
Yeah, food for sure.
Best food I've ever eaten.
I'm a foodie. I like food.
Would you rather eat all the junk food you want without gaining weight or have unlimited sex without being slut-shamed?
Unlimited
sex without being slut-shamed.
Who are the bigger slut-shamers, men or women?
Women.
Women?
Why are there men who shame women for being sluts when men also complain about how hard it is to get laid? Are those the same men?
No. I think the men that are calling women sluts are looking for a woman that aren't sluts.
If a woman's body count doesn't matter, why is it typically the first thing women bring up to shame another woman they are jealous of?
Real talk.
In other words, why would a woman ever slut shame another woman?
Jealousy.
Because they know deep down body count does matter.
Is the main reason women don't want to be easy is because they don't want to be shamed? Or could it be that they don't want to relinquish their sexual power over men?
I don't think either one of those. I think the reason why women don't want to be easy is because we don't want to have a body count, because we want to find somebody that wants us for who we are. And the guys that we're looking for don't want a woman with high body count.
So if that's the case, then why does the average woman have over 20 bodies? 30 bodies, 40, 50. You know what I'm saying? Y'all will rack up your body count thinking that it's okay for me to be strong and independent. And then when you find a man that you truly admire, love, and respect, and he doesn't take you seriously because of that body count, you feel some type of way. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying?
Why is it okay for women to feel entitled to be protected and provided for, but it's wrong for men to feel entitled to sex and intimacy?
I think after being provided for so long, and once you're comfortable in the relationship, that men are going to expect for you to be intimate with them at a certain point.
Are women doing men a favor by giving them sex?
Yes.
That's sad.
Yeah, I guess.
for a moment.
If a woman rewards a man with sex, why is there still pressure on him to perform and satisfy her?
I feel like men can be selfish.
But girls will not come back if they're not like doing well. Yeah.
Well, why should a man have to earn the opportunity to please you sexually?
Because women get to decide everything in other species, so why not human species?
Okay, but then if that's true, then why do we complain about being in a male-dominated patriarchy where men control women?
That's crazy.
Because it's the hunter and gatherer type of discussion, because we had to stay at home and wait for the men to come and hunt and bring that shit back to us for us to like cook and shit. So that's where it started.
Are there female incels?
I think so,
Femcel,
maybe.
femcel.
Would it be fair for society to shame a lonely old cat lady for being involuntarily celibate?
No.
How likely are men to have sex with a lonely woman out of pity?
Not really.
I guess it depends on who you ask. I'd say pretty likely.
I mean, yeah, I'd say it depends.
How likely are women to have sex with lonely men out of pity?
No.
Oh, unlikely. They just want men that are rich and famous.
How likely are women to have sex with lonely men out of pity?
Not so likely.
Why is that?
Because a woman wants a man that looks strong and feels strong, and she feels like she's going to be protected, and that's what they look for. So if you look like you're the weak one cowering in the corner, she's probably not going to go up to you.
Oh.
Men think that there are these issues. Like, if you were more confident, or if you just, like, put yourself out there more, you just, like, F it, whatever, just do it. I guarantee you, it doesn't matter what the woman's standards are. That's what they're attracted to.
Nah, like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, what you're saying right now is complete BS. I'm not saying that you shouldn't put yourself out there, but you gotta focus on self-improvement first, and then from there, you deal with the women that show you that they have high interest in you. If she doesn't have high interest in you, bro, don't even pay attention to her, bro. Real talk. Real talk.
Let me ask you this. So if you woke up tomorrow and you were a guy and you wanted to get laid like most guys do, how would you do it?
I'd go to a bar, find my pretty girl sitting at the bar, sit down, and I'd ask them if I could buy them a drink.
I promise you, most women do not have game. If you were to be in a guy's position and try to pull a guy as a girl, or pull a girl as a guy, you would fail. I promise you would fail. You don't understand what guys have to go through to be able to pull you. You know what I'm saying?
Literally. That's all you have to do. Make yourself there. Present yourself. Be confident.
No, it's
I
more
understand
than that.
but if that was true, why would there be so many guys who complain about being stuck in the friend zone?
Because they're too busy trying to be the nice guy. They're not actually presenting themselves that they want this. They're looking like the friend, so we see them as a friend.
Do you prefer a man who is a gentleman or a bad boy?
I like a gentleman.
Is it fair to say women lust after bad boys but want to settle down with nice guys?
Yes.
How do bad boys treat women?
Like shit.
What's the difference between a man who spoils his woman and a man who's whipped?
What's the difference between a man that spoils his woman and a man that's whipped?
His level of consent and his part and happiness in doing whatever he's doing for his woman. If he's not happy doing it, if he's resenting her,
it depends on the authority that he puts down. Like, there can be a man that spoils his woman in a certain way. He takes her to dinner, he takes her out, he takes her on vacation. And then there's the men that literally bow down hand and foot for their women, that their women are running all over them.
Real talk. That's majority of relationships, guys that are married, if we're to keep it a buck, you know, unfortunately.
A woman expects to be spoiled. Doesn't that mean she expects her man to be whipped?
No.
No, it does.
Do men shame each other for being whipped the same way women slut shame each other for
not really
being easy?
Yes. I don't know about.
It's not that they won't, but it's not as common. Like most guys will just like stay in their own lane and mind their business compared to women. I feel like women will slut shame each other more than the average man will slut shame another dude, or will pick on another dude. You know.
About that, I do know that men will shame their friends for being whipped, and I think that's a problem with the patriarchy.
Does every incel hate women?
No.
Does
No.
every feminist hate men?
Yes.
Probably, yes.
Yes.
Does every incel hate women?
I don't believe every incel hates women. I think that they might be shyer than most men. I think more alpha males end up getting more sex than more beta males do.
Does every feminist hate men?
Yes.
Yes. I'm not a feminist. I am more of a traditional woman, so I really can't speak.
If you're a traditional woman, what's your body count? If you're a traditional woman, what's your body count?
Speak on the feminist woman because I don't agree with most of them.
What is the patriarchy?
Patriarchy is. You're gonna make me describe this.
How do you define it?
Well, the old white men who have deemed what is acceptable for men and women, the roles of men and women, social norms, the leads. It's all back to old white men deciding for everybody.
We'll talk. All right, guys, we're gonna get to the next video. All right, let's get to it.
What if we put up two women against a guy? Well, it may sound ridiculous, but let's give it a try. This fight took place at a local BJJ
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I don't know what that is.
When two women decided to go against a guy in friendly sparring. The guy didn't face any difficulty while fighting them. The two kept coming at him at the same time. When he'll go for the first one, the other one would come up from behind, but it didn't stop him from putting them in their place. He made the first one tap out by a submission hold. Since the other one was left alone, he did the same to her pretty easily. I'll confess that they gave him a hard time, but still it was 2 versus 1.
Now, I'm not going to go on about how men are stronger than women in general. I think we all know.
Women don't understand that men, if they really want to, they have the complete ability to like kill them. All jokes aside, women don't understand that men, like, it's the testosterone within our body. Like, it's not a joke at all. Women don't understand how strong men are and what they have the capability of doing. And women play around with like it's a joke. We literally just saw in the video that both of those women tapped out to one man. But imagine if it were two men going at a woman. She would have been done for. She would have been done. Like when I say done, I mean done. You know what I'm saying? Real talk.
I'm going to say is masculinity is a beautiful thing, femininity is a beautiful thing, but we just built different. And some people don't want to accept that.
Just saying, if God didn't want women to be cooking, he wouldn't have put milk and eggs in their body.
Like that one. Yes, sir.
Sensational.
No cap.
Me being bothered is me being sexually harassed as far as I'm concerned.
So anytime a man talks to you, you consider sexually harassed then?
If you're talking to me and you have no business to be talking to me, you are sexually harassing me. You are undressing me with your eyes and I want to rip them out of your fucking...
Do you not undress men with your eyes, Miss Feminist? Do you not undress men with your eyes, Miss Feminist? Stop. You're delusional. Something is wrong with you. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. Like what's up? Like, what's going on? What do you mean he has no business to be talking to you? You need to be humble. Be humble. You know? Stop thinking you're a 10 when at best you're probably like a 7.5, 8. Be humble.
head.
I'm sorry, but this generation of women, y'all are delusional.
But I bet she can go up to guys whenever she wants, say whatever she wants, and do whatever she wants.
Nobody's gonna tell her about herself, bro.
And the thing is, if she reports you and it goes to court, who do you think they're gonna believe?
They're gonna believe the woman. We believe our women, bro. It's sad. You cannot make this up.
Go near her, you could end up in jail.
The majority of working women, by 2030, 45% of them are going to be unmarried and no kids. Women who are 38 years old are going to look and say, I've been working my since I'm 21 years old. I've been encouraged to go to school, get a job. I don't need no man. I'm going to become a boss babe. And they're going to look at themselves and they're turning 40 next year and they're going to be like,
this is exactly why I say that feminism is lied to women, bro. Like, you cannot make this up at all. Literally.
I've got a couple $100,000 in the bank, no man, no kids, couple cats.
Like, I'm gonna say this. If you reach the age of 35, 40 and you're not married and you have no kids, you failed as a woman. If you reach the age of 35, 40 years old and you are not married and you don't have any children to show, you have failed as a woman. Just like, for example, if I'm a man without a future, if I'm a man that hasn't achieved any type of status or success, I failed as a man. If I'm not making a certain amount of money, if I'm not in a specific physique, type of physical shape, I failed as a man. But society only tries to make it seem as if, like, for example, if you fail as a man, it's okay, but if a woman fails you, it doesn't matter. No, it goes both ways, guys. Real talk. Real talk.
That's because modern day women are taught that settling down and having a family is a bad thing. You're a
Real
failure
talk.
for that. That's not a part of being strong and independent, which is stupid. They should be taught that they can still have a family, still have a husband, and still be strong and independent. The
I'm not ready to hear that,
is
though.
they're being brainwashed into thinking that doing that is weak. When you're 40 years old and you can no longer have kids as a woman, you might regret that. And it's been proven that a lot of them do.
Girl gets with who they want, boys get with who they can, and that's facts. Now, I like how you mentioned that. Girls marry who they can and guys marry who they want. Facts. Real talk.
You're right, but that's the exact same reason why guys get praised for being out here and girls get shamed for it. If a guy gets with 100 girls, that means 100 girls want him. If a girl gets with 100 guys, that means she wants 100 guys. No one wants a girl that wants every guy. But if a guy can get 100 girls that want him, yo, that guy's him. Like, he's that guy.
It's an evil world we live in.
Can your man, control what you wear?
The fuck no. Yeah. Absolutely.
Married, you're married.
Absolutely not.
So stay single then. Stay single. Because I'm gonna keep it a buck. If you're a woman and you don't allow your man to be able to have somewhat of a say in what you're wearing, I'm gonna be honest with you, you're gonna be single for a very long time. No cap. Because most men are not gonna be comfortable with their woman going out wearing showing off their cleavage, showing off their legs, showing off their body. Men are not comfortable with that. Real talk.
You gotta take into account what he's comfortable with and discuss it, but control, like none of this, none of this, none of this, none of this. If he puts a full stop on certain things that I wear, end of story. You gotta discuss. You gotta discuss boundaries.
Can you control what a man wears?
Yes.
No.
Actually, no. You gotta discuss it.
His body is for him. My body's for him.
So he can control what you wear
He can control what I wear.
at any time.
Yeah.
No, they're actually kind of saying the same.
She's smart. The second girl is smart. The first girl, I kind of like, all hope is kind of lost for her, bro. Unless she switches it, you know.
Same thing. I think they just define the word control in a different way. The first one I think defines control is like her man tells her what to do. She has no more control of her body. She can't do what she wants anymore, which I'd understand she wouldn't want that. She did say still that she would take into consideration what my man's comfortable with, and I think that's good.
I was just working the Harry Styles concert, second night in a row. I've worked a few concerts like this where the females are absolutely hysterical. The guy I'm working with, and I say to him, is there a male equivalent of this that isn't sports related? Like, okay, guys go nuts when something crazy happens in sports. Okay, we all know that. Like, then what is the difference between us? Why do girls go crazy for a male singer? And this has been going on for years. Men have never done that over like performers. They've done it over like a display of skill in the same sex as them. How come they aren't hysterical over female singers? Why are we like this? Why are we like desperately screaming at a guy that's never gonna fuck us?
Well, think about it this way: how many female artists make
They're not ready
music
for that.
them?
They're not ready for that
man. I've
conversation.
seen people at like Michael Jackson concerts fainting and shit. Like
They're not ready
crazy.
for that
Prince
conversation
as well.
at
He
all.
was another one in the 80s that women would just go crazy for. I've never seen men crying and screaming.
Because men aren't groupies. That's why.
Hey, look at this girl taking a photo of me. I see you, bitch. I got you back. How many does she need? Let me give her something to look at.
If she actually is filming him, why don't you just go over there and talk to him? Because it's actually more embarrassing for you getting caught filming than it is you talking to him and saying something dumb.
I don't use Tinder.
What do you use?
Nothing.
So how would you like a guy to come to you?
Politely. Hello, how was your night?
Once a guy-
simple question, sorry.
So if a guy asks you this, you would give him a chance and then sleep with him.
Stop the cap.
Yeah, fellas, that only works if she's attracted to you. There's no specific magic words that you can say to people. Yeah, you can crack people's shells, you can make them laugh, but there's not one specific pickup line or specific best thing you should say to them.
I'll even go further and say, like, if she's highly attracted to you, bro, there's nothing you can literally say that will put you in a position to be wrong with her, bro. But she has to be fully attracted to you, you know?
To someone.
So when you look at yourself, what would you say you need to improve when you're dealing with the opposite gender?
Nothing.
Question mark?
I don't think there's any flaws. I don't think I have any flaws.
The delusion is crazy. Like, it's crazy. Like, you cannot make this up, bro. Literally.
What I need to improve?
Yes.
Probably his timing.
Your timing or his timing?
His timing.
No, it's about you though.
Oh,
you
what do
need
I
to.
need to
Yeah, what do you need to improve?
I don't know.
You see how she jumped straight to you?
She doesn't want to improve. She doesn't have any ambition, any hobby.
Yeah, because they're not forced to improve. All right, guys, we're gonna get to the next video, but it just goes to show you, like, they're not expected to improve, bro. Real talk, you know. If we're just to be honest, real talk. All right, let's watch another video, guys. Let's switch it up a little bit today. All right, let's watch this one.
Andrew Tate has gotten clapped on YouTube. He's gotten clapped on TikTok. TikTok has advised that they're also looking to remove the duplicate videos of Tate. The move follows.
Hassan, why are you on this dude's piece, bro? I ain't gonna lie. Literally. Literally.
Follows in the footsteps of.
Wait, so hold on. Let's get into this, guys. My bad. Let's do this.
Andrew Tate has gotten clapped on YouTube. He's gotten clapped on TikTok. TikTok has advised that they're also looking to remove the duplicate videos of Tate. The move follows in the footsteps of Instagram, Facebook also banning him from their platform.
All right, so I'm gonna say this one thing right now, bro. We have to understand that we're in a very, very demonic world. We're in demonic times. When you as a man are coming to spread the message of masculinity, spread the message of being a real man, you're going to have people that are going to report you. You're going to have people that are going to call you a misogynist, a sexist, neo-Nazi or racist, whatever they're gonna call you, to be able to try to shame you. You gotta look past all those things. Real talk. Real talk. Now they're probably gonna go to the extent of trying to remove all of the clips of Andrew Tate to try to silence him. You can't silence the dude, bruh. You can't silence him. Real talk. Let's continue.
And Andrew Tate is off. He's off TikTok as of now. Here it is. Permanently banned from TikTok for breaking content rules. Controversial content creator and former kickboxer Andrew Tate has been permanently banned off TikTok. In a statement to the Washington Post, TikTok said Andrew Tate's account was removed for breaking rules on content that attacks, threatens, incites violence against, or otherwise dehumanizes an individual or group. I think a lot of people forget that women are also a part of that. Now, knowing what I know about the way that internet content works, knowing what I know about how like reactionary forces operate, I'll just say this. The next wave in this is to, 1, get involved in the debate sphere and talk about free speech. 2, turn around and weaponize the same platforms like arbitrary guidelines against people that violate it on the other side. They're going to do the "what about violence against men" narrative. Why do I know this? Because I lived through 2016 and 2015 as an online content creator who was at the Young Turks, who was on the side that you are all on now. I've been on the side for a very long time. I've seen this dance. I've seen this song and dance play out many times over, and that is where we're going to go. It's a comfortable team to play in, and that's precisely why they're going to do that. This was my greatest call, like I said on my alt account. My greatest lock of the decade was calling a return to 2015 era politics once Biden got into office and things returned to normal. Reliving Gamergate era politics, we're in the misogyny stage. Next stage is the alt-light video game essays defending free speech, and the final stage is Nazis clawing back into public consciousness through the right-wing alliance social media algos on TikTok. And that is precisely what's going to happen. They're going to do that. They've done it before, and they will try to do it once again.
No cap.
They'll turn around and they'll look at all the femcells on TikTok and be like, look at all these misinterest femcells who are saying like kill all men, fuck all men, blah, 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 blah. And ultimately, there is a distinction between the two. Misinjury does not accompany structural violence in the same way that misogyny does, but obviously it doesn't fucking matter. A quick way to describe it is this, okay? Bigotry, discrimination, and hateful speech or hateful misconduct is simply being mean if it doesn't accompany the historical reference points and contemporary examples of structural violence. The reason why misogyny is bad is not necessarily because like, oh, you're, shitting on women. The reason why misogyny is bad is because society has structurally aligned to oppress women, at least historically, and contemporary remnants of that historical association, that historical oppression still exists in society to this day. The same energy goes for, homophobia and bigotry of other sorts, and every single time you turn around and like shit on fucking femcells, which I do regularly, right? Femcells, rad fems, they're really fucking cringe. They're really fucking annoying, right? They go crazy. They pop off. Look at any of my tweets where I encounter a group of stans, and you will see like, I had the audacity to reply to Megan Thee Stallion, and immediately there's like 10,000 QRTs of people being like, "You're."
Yo, Hassan, you literally referred to femcells, bro. Bro, are there even such things as femcells, bro? Like, that's what I literally want to ask you. So, unless I'm mistaken, I'm going to take what you're saying as a femcell as somebody who is celibate involuntarily, just like an incel, right? Women don't even have that option of being voluntarily celibate. Just off of her existing, listen to me carefully, just off of her existing, there's going to be certain dudes that are going to want her. Real talk. If we're to really keep it a buck, it is what it is.
You're a misogynist. You should kill yourself immediately. Please kill yourself. You're a fucking misogynist. Blah, blah, blah. Those people are incredibly annoying. Having said that, however, or you're 40, which is the worst one. It's worse than saying kill yourself. Those people are just like fucking toxic. Those people are cringe. Those people are annoying. But ultimately, they're not relevant in the grand scheme of things. They have no power. And more importantly than their own personal lack of power, there is nothing. There's no representation of that in our structures. Misogyny versus misinjury is like telling your boss you're fired versus your boss telling you you're fired. Both are not nice, but one obviously has power and the other doesn't. Exactly. Or misogyny versus misinjury is like homophobia versus heterophobia. That's it. It's like straight pride. Why no straight pride parade?
I just want to understand, why are you comparing misogyny and misandry to heterophobia and homophobia? Heterophobia basically means that you hate to see two people that are the opposite sex with each other. And then homophobia means that you don't like to see two people of the same sex with each other. How does that have to do with misogyny and misandry, bro? Like, make it make sense. Come on, Hassan.
That's what the energy is. Same with like anti-white racism versus anti-black racism. So you can try to reduce it and strip it of all of its context and all of its nuance as much as you want. But ultimately, that is the reality, which is why, regardless of my me being banned for my usage of the C word and Twitch coming out and basically saying that I'm not white enough to be able to say it, most people that saw that clowned on it and laughed about it, including like actually racist people. Like even Republicans understand, even conservatives understand that like the C word is not the same as the N word, right? Hate against anyone is bad. One isn't as bad as the other, but trivializing hate against men is still kind of fucked. Dude, I'm a man. My brother in Christ. I get the anti-men hatred as well. It is a laughable notion to sit here and act like it's the fucking same. That's crazy. And I've said this before, right? The reason why the N-word is such a powerful word is because it's something different than just a hurtful word. It is a reinforcement of the pre-existing and still existing systematic oppression that black people face. You get it? That's the main difference. Because without chattel slavery, without the history of brutal colonial occupation, without the history of current and subjugation of black communities and black people in general that have been systematically underfunded, systematically cast aside, that have been ruined by the criminal justice system and a lack of adequate funding, the N-word would just be a mean word.
I agree. I definitely. I mean, I think slavery and all of those things definitely play a factor into it for sure.
It would be the exact same thing as the word cracker. The delicious saltine treat is what I'm saying. And I think most people do understand that, but they try to make an argument. They try to desperately craft a narrative and seek oppression and seek victimhood where no such oppression or victimhood actually exists in an effort to just like feel kind of better about yourself, I guess, or feel kind of cool, like you want to get in on it. Misogyny is a hateful ideology that is not tolerated on TikTok is a laughable statement, by the way. We've been removing violative videos and accounts for weeks, and we welcome the news that other platforms are also taking action against this individual. The Andrew Tate hashtag is still visible on TikTok at the time of writing, but presumably it will be shadow banned, similar to how other controversial or dangerous hashtags have been wiped. The problem is,
they really are trying to silence this dude, but like I said, you can't silence somebody who has the power that he has. You can't silence a masculine man. You understand? There is nothing you can do to silence him.
Laughable. Like everyone that has ever been on TikTok, even for longer than a fucking second and a half, knows that that is a laughable concept. Like the idea that misogyny and hateful misconduct is not allowed on the platform is ridiculous. Before this happened, of course, he was banned off of Facebook as well. And that kind of like started the sequence of bans. I believe he's now banned off of YouTube as well. He has also ended his Hustlers University multi-level marketing scheme. Now, am I going to take credit for all of this? Am I going to take credit for?
Hold on, let's really address this, Hassan. Why are you calling his Hustlers University program what's it called? Multi-level marketing scheme. Have you ever purchased it before? Have you been in the program to see what actually goes on? Or are you just trying to make an ad hominem attack on this man? Come on, bro. You got to do better. Gotta do better. Hassan, you got to do better, bro. Real talk.
For like successfully fucking clapping Andrew Tate's ass cheeks in front of hundreds of thousands of people and then millions of other people on multiple platforms that ended up causing the demise, or at the very least like started the demise being caused. Yeah, I'm probably gonna, I'll just say it, if you want to see like what started this sequence of L's that my man started taking on July 21st, you can clearly see in this video, I made Andrew Tate run away in a debate, which is now sitting at 1.6 million views. That definitely did play a role. I know a lot of you.
He didn't run away, bro. Stop.
You are still conflicted, saying, well, that was platforming. It's not platforming. He already had the platform. He already had a much larger platform outside of Twitch, but he also certainly was not on my platform. He was on Twitch on someone else's Twitch account, and I was asked to join. So Andrew Tate, shouts out, pour one out. Pour one out for the boy. Con, can you please at least mention that you are humble and privileged, because you are kind of boasting now and that's not allowed on Twitch? I mean, part of the reason why I was able to successfully take him down was exclusively because I am so privileged. I recognize those privileges. I use it to my advantage. I use it to your advantage as well, as best as I can try. I look a certain way. I sound a certain way. It's hard to make the "you're actually a soy boy cuck" narrative stick when I'm 6'4", airy as fuck, and, you know, a big dude overall. I myself do not personally abide by such rigid gender norms. I think that those are silly, right? Someone said, "You look gay, though." Yeah, that's not what your mom said, though, last night. Sorry to report this, but I'm your stepfather now. But yeah, that juxtaposition is what made me more successful than other people that also went after him, I think, in my opinion. Also, if you're a tater tot and you say, "I look gay," that's kind of funny. My man is the most European dressed motherfucker on the planet. He is so queer coded. The only thing that allows him to beat the otter allegations is his bald head, but not really. I mean, he just dresses in the most European / queer coded way possible. Are you kidding me? My man literally wears little slippies. Like, he wears skin tight fucking.
Why are you shaming him for what he wears, though? And you're calling him queer? Like, do you know what it means to be queer, bro? Literally. Like, you're shaming another, like, bro, like I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, bro. All jokes aside, you're acting very feminine right now. Hassan, like, when you come across this video, I want you to understand you're acting very feminine. Very feminine, bro. You gotta do better, bro. Why are you shaming another man based off of what he wears, bro? Like, if you're gonna attack an argument, attack an argument. Don't attack him based off of what he's wearing. Like, come on, bro. How would you feel if I told you look like a nerd because of the glasses you're wearing, bro? Like dumb stuff. You know what I'm saying? Even if they're designer, whatever, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to do better, G.
Lower pants and shit. What the fuck do you mean? Dude, you're gay. So, yeah, including sparkling water, including like riding so hard for sparkling water, or talking about how you are much better at like sexting men than the sex workers under your employ. You know, if you're going to talk about like being sus or whatever, like Andrew Tate quite literally was like, "I can sext dudes way better than women can." Like, what do you mean? He straight up admits it. Like, he loved making dudes come. That was his passion until, you know, he farmed a bunch of 12-year-olds out of their mother's credit card.
I think I know what he's talking about. He's basically talking about like the webcam business that he had at a point in time. But that is listen, it is what it is, bro. But for you to even be bringing that up right now, it's like what are you talking about, bro?
Money for his Hustlers University multi-level marketing scheme. I guess my final words on it is big L, major L for Andrew, major L for the platforms in general, but most importantly, a major L for 12-year-old boys all around the United States of America will now be rudderless. They will be looking for the other next misogynistic Hydra head that will pop up. Olivia Little of Media Matters says, new Andrew Tate videos are widely circulating on TikTok because of fan accounts despite the platform's promised ban, and it looks like TikTok is doing little to stop the spread of his content. Just searching Andrew Tate brings up a massive list of fan accounts, many of which are quickly archiving their old videos in an attempt to ban evade. There it is. TikTok has consistently fumbled moderating fan accounts that upload duplicated content of banned influencers. This is exactly how Infowars and Alex Jones content continues to go viral on the platform. It's not the influencers uploading it, but fans. Yeah. Us women haters are oppressed. All of our public speakers get silenced. Yeah. Not really. Misogyny isn't one of those things that like people often go after you for, unless you're literally like Roosh V, you know what I mean? Who was another PUA guy before Andrew Tate. Most of these platforms allow misogyny to continue. Of course they do. It's very hard.
What is misogyny, bro? I want you to define misogyny. I know the definition of misogyny, right? But when you as a man stand on principle and you stand on masculinity, they call you a misogynist as a way to shame you. And people don't understand what shaming is. All shaming is a coping mechanism to be able to deal with your problems. Now, do I condone it? Hell no. Because majority of women don't get shamed when they do things that are opposite of what the society wants, you know? But when you're a man and you do what you have to do, you get shamed, bro. Real talk.
To moderate content like this. Are you making jokes or are you being serious? I make jokes like that all the fucking time sarcastically. Does that mean that, like, you know, I'm going to get banned? It's very difficult to moderate this sort of shit. It's very, very, very difficult to moderate this sort of stuff. Anyone with a fucking brain cell understands that reality. However, Andrew Tate didn't do the Jordan Peterson thing of like constantly trying to carve out an exit strategy for himself. He never hid his perspective. He openly was propagandizing violence against women on very clear terms. And if you do
pull up the clip then. Pull up the clip. If you're gonna say that, pull up the clip. Pull up the clip, bro. Number one. Number two, how do you know he wasn't trolling? Even if he did say that, people will literally try to take everything that this man says as gospel instead of actually reading between the lines and understanding why he's saying what he's saying. Real talk. Let's keep it a buck.
Do that so consistently, yeah, you are going to get clapped for fucking misogyny. It's like revealing your power level, you know? Nazis all over the internet know that you're never supposed to reveal your power level because once someone knows you're a fucking Nazi, it's a wrap. They're not going to take you seriously. Platforms are going to start banning you. You're going to get banned from the Hassan Ivy broadcast and not be able to subscribe at the top of the hour where a 60-second ad break comes, and you're going to be stuck there watching the ad instead of not watching the ad and enjoying an uninterrupted broadcast experience. I recognize the lack of power that we kind of have towards structural issues. I recognize the lack of power that we have towards like actually fighting against structural oppression like misogyny, right? By taking down like one fucking misogynistic content creator, you know what I mean? That's like, I don't know how to describe it. Like that's not gonna fucking solve the issue, you know what I mean? It's true, it's just fucking true. But I'm not gonna ride to like keep a guy like Andrew Tate unbanned from these platforms when he very clearly is like championing it. Like nobody asked him to be the fucking CEO of misogyny.
Stop, Hassan, bro. Like, what are you saying, G? Like, if you hate the man, just say it. You know what I'm saying? You're shaming him for being misogynist. I'm gonna tell you why you hate this man. You hate him because you're not masculine and he's masculine, bro. And it's not even to be on his piece or whatever, but it's like real recognizes real. If you don't recognize real, then that means you're not real, bro. That's what it is. If we're to really keep it a buck and talk on it, bro, you know?
And he was like, no, I'm going to be the CEO of misogyny. I'm going to do it. I hate women. Except, no, I don't. Now that I got banned, I don't hate women. I'm sorry. I love women. Like, he could have just been, like, lightly misogynistic and continued doing what he was fucking doing. But no, he had to, like, literally, the reason why he was so powerful and so successful in such a short period of time was because he was appealing to the dumbest person. And in order to appeal to the dumbest person, you got to just fucking let it ride. You got to just say it like you mean it, right? The Trump thing. Trump isn't any different than any other fucking Republican with respect to his worldview, with the things that he advocates for, but he says it. He says it in a way that dumb guys understand. And when you do that, you will be very successful. When you do that, you'll be very, very successful, especially if you are firmly...
What do you consider as people that are dumb, though? That's what you got to ask yourself.
Planting yourself behind structural inequalities and structural oppression, like misogyny, like racism, you know what I mean? If you do that, there is already pre-existing social conditioning. So people are constantly looking for someone to reconfirm their biases. This is much larger than Tate. The reason why they scalped one was because, like, he wrote it. He said he was the CEO of misogyny. So what were you expecting? Is there a way to do that but to re-educate them to the light side of the force? I wonder if there is. I wonder if there is a way to, I don't know, dumb down content and commentary and make it as broadly appealing as possible from like a leftist perspective. Oh, well, I guess we'll never know if there is someone doing that with like a pretty sizable community as well. Probably not, though. You know what I mean? Andrew Tate being banned. Steven Crowder's talking about it. Who's Andrew Tate? What's more important is why Andrew Tate was suspended from numerous social media platforms. Hint, too many guys enjoyed his content. We also say goodbye to a legend as Brian Stelter has finally been fired from CNN. Tune in right now. Andrew Tate's house raided in Romania over charges of human trafficking after allegedly kidnapped an American woman. Yeah, too many guys enjoyed his content. Like, even if he didn't do this, even if this wasn't real, motherfucker, his content literally was like, choke women. Women are property. Of course, the right is going to try to farm the Andrew Tate clout as much as they can. But, well, they didn't get to it fast enough. You know what I mean? They were not able to get to Andrew Tate fast enough. And unfortunately, before they could get to Andrew Tate and, like, suckle his titties for all that good, delicious SEO juice.
Pause. All right, bro. We're going to... All right, bro. Yeah, I think we're gonna move off this content. Let's watch a little bit of. Actually, no, hold on. Before we get into the next video, I just wanna see something real quick, guys. Yeah. We're gonna watch another video before we get into that. It's a little bit of Schneeko, my guy. You know. And I'll probably watch like the first like 20 minutes.
Test, boom. What's up, Chad? What's goody? W's everybody. How you feeling, Carlos, Shakrin, Kokoso, Zakaru, Anhal?
All right, let's switch.
What's good, y'all? Elon, EJ. Chad, I cannot. Tristan told me to carry the torch, but trust me, I can't do this shit on my own. So let's do 20 push-ups. We're all gonna do this shit together.
All right, let's do this.
Let's get into this. Me and Largest too. Hey, look at this goofy ass donated money to call me to Lil Bro me. You goofy. Thanks for your $20. Nah, that's cool though. That's cool though. Jay, you want to hear what Tristan had to say? I have not seen this video yet. Everybody, obviously, I'm gonna react to this. That's just a given. I still got such a scuffed setup. I only have one monitor when I stream, so I'd look at me having to click and drag. Like, I'm out here calling Tristan a boomer, but it's a little too. Jay, you want to hear what Tristan had to say? All right, let's play this message before we get into it. Damn, someone said Yorich is a bot. I suggest you start a cozy channel, Odyssey channel before you get axed. Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna start planning for that too, especially now that Tristan said he passed me the torch. All right, let's play his messages real quick. But this is Andrew Tate's final message, and Tristan has a message that needs to be heard before we get into this. Let's see if I can get this shit.
Our affiliate team, our army of TikTok people will cut it all up from your stream and share that everywhere as well. So it'll be a good promo for you, bro.
You heard it. The HU Army clip up everything from this. Now that there's silence, other people need to pass it. Like, now I got to do it. I got a lot of responsibility. I don't know if I'm fully ready for it, and I don't think I want to do it on my own. I want to do it with y'all watching, people in the creativity kit, other YouTubers and other streamers who are like-minded. We need to work together to spread this message. If you believe in the truth, and if you want to bring back gender roles, and if you actually love women and want to start a family, you believe in conservative values, not all of them, but some traditional forms of a family. I would say the Tates are traditional men, and the world is not traditional anymore.
Yes.
The world has lost all of its moral fiber. The world has gone crazy. The world is promoting you to be dumber, weaker, tired. They want to take away your energy. They want you to paint your nails. That's what they want men to turn into. We got a long message from Tristan.
So, Andrew's been banned on almost every social media platform you can imagine. I've sent you his final message. If nothing gets reinstated, if we don't make any other big moves, this is going to be Andrew's goodbye. So I know you respect a lot of the things that me and him say. My YouTubes have been removed as well. I think he's kind of speaking for both of us here. If you could react to it and, let people know his final message, that would mean a lot to me. I'm probably going to disappear from Instagram within a certain period of time. They are trying to silence us. But I think the most important thing for people to understand who know me and Andrew and who have seen me and Andrew is this. Our lives will remain unchanged. Social media is just me living my life and every 2 to 3 days taking a picture of something I'm doing and posting it on a website called Instagram.com. But the yachts, the girls, the cars, the trips, the house, the money, the casinos, everything I'm doing,
it's still going to be there.
Going to end.
Because they can't stop you.
Why the haters can never actually defeat
Real talk.
Me and Andrew.
They hate greatness.
Are defeated by life. They are sad in their lives, and the
No
internet
cap.
is all they have.
Big facts.
All we were doing was showing the internet a little slice of our happiness, of our perfect existence. And if that gets taken away, and I think that my platforms will be taken away very soon. My YouTube channel certainly has been. I'm going to continue living the life. So, Sneeko, young man, if I disappear, I'm passing the torch to you. Keep spreading the message. While it's still relevant to talk about Andrew Tate, I appreciate you showing this final video to your followers and fans.
Yeah, to your audience.
God bless you. And as long as I'm allowed to, I'll be jumping on your stream soon. Just give me a week. I've got vacation.
Give him a week, chat. He's got vacation. Okay, yours just went live. He said he wants to get on the phone. So you heard him. Tristan said he passed the torch to me. It's a lot of, bro, we got this. We can do it together. If you are like-minded, if you want a free freedom of speech, if you want a traditional family with grounded roles, if you believe in God, if you want things to be better.
I'm going to say this one thing real quick, guys. When you're a masculine man in America in 2021, they will try to shame you. As long as you stand upon principles as a man, nobody can do anything to you. They can try to silence you, but they cannot silence you until they get it done. And they're not going to get it done. Real talk. Real talk.
Better. If you don't want to let the elites control you, then we need you on we need each other. I can't do this shit on my own. I know Tristan said he's going to pass the torch to me. I can't do this shit all on my own. A lot of people have been brainwashed. Most of the YouTubers you watch have all been brainwashed. They promote prawn, gambling. They promote stuff to drain your energy, to make you tired, to make you weaker, to make you sadder.
Facts.
A lot of the streamers just want to milk you for money, and it's ironic because they'll call out when you release a course for entrepreneurship. They'll say that, oh, you're just trying to get rich. At least they're trying to teach you, and me too, are trying to teach you valuable information. What you're trying to do is make people subscribe to OF girls.
Facts.
Those people are never going to get banned because they're not saying anything unique. They are voices for the top. They are echoing what the elites want them to say, so they'll never get banned. The people who are at risk to get banned are speaking truth. If they censor it, it's true. So I'm telling you now, I am going to get deleted soon. I know it. And I don't have the luxury of Tristan and Andrew to just be like, I don't give a fuck about social media. I'm going to go on a yacht in Croatia and sail around and be with these girls. Like, I can't do that. I'm still trying to get it. Tristan said he's going to throw me a millionaire party when I hit $1 million net, but I'm not at that point yet. And I'm telling you now, I will get banned. So when I do, remember this. Come rock with me. Because the internet's going to keep getting lamer and weaker and dumber and more antidepressant and sad.
I'm going to say this one thing right now, guys. We live in a society where probably like 10, 15 years ago, you had freedom of speech, but you don't have freedom of speech anymore in 2022. You say anything that's out of line in the left's opinion or in society's opinion, they're going to try to call you a neo-Nazi, a racist, and so on and so forth, you know? But understand that you can't stop us. You know what I'm saying? You cannot stop us. No matter what you say, no matter what you cannot stop greatness. You can't. Sorry, can't do it. Real talk, you cannot do it. So try your worst.
And more cancel culture. In 20 years, it's going to be all OnlyFans and soy boys. Promise you. That's what they want to promote. Think about the people that will never get banned and the people that do get banned. Why did Alex Jones get banned? Why did Trump get banned? Why did Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate get banned?
Real talk.
Masculine men going against the system. They don't want you to be masculine. The biggest threat to their agenda is an independent, free-thinking man.
Facts.
Because they can challenge their status quo.
Real talk. They don't want you to have a mind of your own, bruh. I've been saying this. They don't want you to be able to be a free thinker. They don't want you to have a mind of your own. They want you to just continue to fall within their plots. Real talk. And when you don't, you have to come after him.
That's why the people, the fat, antidepressant, painted nails, LGBTQ, twerking in the camera, bullshit, that will never get censored.
I don't know if you guys remember, but like 10, 15 years, probably let's just say 10 years ago, they didn't tell you you get to identify with whichever gender you want to. You were either a man or a woman. Now, you could be a man, woman, animal, like a clown, a shark, a mermaid. These are all different identities in 2022. Let's keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying?
Because it just dumbs you down.
Real talk.
There's no thinking for that. They want you to be watching that all day long to make you dumber, weaker, and tired.
That is a fact.
They want to milk
word
you
to
dry.
mommy.
And the irony is how they'll call an online entrepreneurship course, they'll call it
a pyramid scheme. They will call it a ripoff, whatever.
a pyramid scheme and a multi-level marketing scheme, like the whole system of the world and how
Isn't a pyramid scheme. They want you to go to school, get a degree from college, work 30 years, and then end off with nothing. Is that not a pyramid scheme?
money works is not a pyramid scheme. If you work at Foot Locker and you buy a pair of shoes, the salesman gets a cut. That's a pyramid scheme. But they don't go and try to cancel that. They try to cancel an online entrepreneurship course because they don't want you to be independent.
Real talk.
They want you to be a bot in the matrix and never question anything. They want you to sit still and listen to what they're telling you to listen to. I'm sick of it.
No cap.
Thank you, Michael Johnson, bro. Big 100 in the chat from Michael Johnson. Just recently discovered your channel. Your content is crucially needed in a time like now. Thank you, man. Keep doing the right for the intelligence of the world, one video at a time. Your logic's on point every video. Joe Eskimo on all platforms. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Stico, do this. Fight for Tate. Comment Stico W. So let's get into this. I'm gonna call Rage. Or actually, what is Rage streaming right now? I mean, he'll probably text me if he's free. Maybe I could talk to him afterwards. He seemed like he didn't really want to watch this. I'll just watch this on my own for now. Tell his chat if he's calling me that. Maybe I can call him afterwards, or if he wants to talk, he can call me now. But you heard it. Tristan said he's gonna pass me the torch.
No cap.
It's not gonna be easy. Chat, I cannot do this on my own. I need your help. And everybody in HU, everybody who's been supporting Tate, clip this up. You heard Tristan. This is like
real talk. Clip it up. Clip it up. Like you cannot stop the message that is gonna help men to become better men. You stop it, you're literally trying to stop success. Let's keep it a buck.
I'm the next person with this message. So remember when they ban me, what I'm telling you now. They will silence me more. I already have a misinformation strike for the Coco. It is what it is. They don't want you to hear the truth.
That's a fact.
Love you, bro. Keep making men into men. Bro, I'm still trying to become a man, too. I'm 23. I'm 23. It's a lot of responsibility that he just put on me.
But you're able to handle it. We're all able to handle it. Because even though obviously he called you by name, the thing you have to understand is that there's a whole army that is here to be able to promote the masculine message, the traditional message. Trust and believe. Like, Sneeko, you're not alone, bro. You got me. You got so many other content creators that are good and are trying to help that message. You know what I'm saying? So it's love.
All right, let's get into this. Andrew Tate's final message.
I was thinking for a long time how to start this video because it needs to be concise and compendious, but I also want it to be very, very comprehensive. And I guess the best place to start is at the beginning. There's been many different versions of my life story, which have been put on the internet as of late and from many years ago. But I'm gonna give a very, very quick overview of my story. My life has always been difficult. I've certainly had a difficult life. I preach to the people who follow me that as a man, trauma and difficulty is extremely important because it's the building blocks for mental fortitude and physical fortitude.
Facts.
So I'm very, very happy that my life has been difficult because it's impossible to become a capable man.
I agree with that 100%. If you listen to me carefully, woke family, listen to me very, very carefully. If you as a man do not go through some sort of adversity, you will never level up to become the man that God has called you to become. Let me say that one more time. If you as a man don't go through some sort of adversity to be able to level up, you will never know what it takes to be able to be capable as a man. No cap.
I can't believe it. It was so quick. The rise to fame, took over social media, and then deleted off of every single platform.
That's how you know that he was effective. That's how you know he was effective. For him to have been literally, like, I think this started around probably like May, June, July time. June. You know what I'm saying? That just goes to show you that this man, Mr. Tate, had a very, very big impact. And they're trying to silence him. It's sad.
Just like that. The internet is so fast now. It was fun while it lasted, though.
No cap.
A man of my capability without struggling with facing serious adversities, without trying to overcome often insurmountable.
Okay, Rage is calling me. Let me call Rage. Let's add him to this. I'm calling him right now. Pick up, Rage. He just texted me, what the fuck, nigga, I've been called. Now he doesn't want to talk anymore. Bro, I want that Rage Club. Bro, you were late. Why are you getting mad at me? Rage was late. Oh, shit. Okay, hold on. Pick up, Rage. Just watch, no one cares. All right, fuck it. Fuck it, let's keep watching.
Odds. I grew up in South Side of Chicago. I'm obviously a person of color. I was bullied in school to a degree, and my father always taught me to stick up for myself. I was never allowed to run and cry to authority. I was told that if someone wants to mess with you or come at you, you can't always go tell the teacher. Sometimes you have to deal with it.
You have to stick up.
I was actually picked on.
You know what, guys? I'm going to give you an example of my life because I think it's good for us to really talk about situations, right? I was in a situation growing up where I used to get bullied too. I'll admit it. You know what I'm saying? I used to get bullied too. I used to get disrespected, all of those things. I think every person needs to get bullied to be able to learn what it takes to stand up to opposition. My example is that this basically happened in my health class in 8th grade. I'm 22, so this is when I was, 13, 14 years old? So this was like 7, 8 years ago. No, 8, 9 years ago, right? This one bully who kept picking on me in class. I told the dude to stop touching me. He kept putting his hands on me. I told him to stop touching me or else we were going to have a problem. So after I told him that, he touched me one more time. And I kid you not, the minute he touched me, I literally turned around and slapped him in his face. I backhanded. I'm not even going to say I backhanded. I didn't backhand him. But I used my left hand, turned around, and I slapped him dead in his face. On everything I love, I slapped him in his face. Why did I slap him in his face? Because I was tired of getting picked on. You crossed my boundaries. I kept telling you, if you cross my boundaries, we're going to have a problem. Now, I'm going to be honest. When I slapped him in his face, in my mind, I was kind of questioning, am I going to get into a fight right now? what's gonna happen if I do this. But I didn't care. And you know what happened after I slapped him in his face? He asked me, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Like, he was asking himself to me, like, what did I do to deserve that? And the whole class turned around and was like, oh, like they were all shocked. And it's not to make it seem as if I'm big and bad and tough or whatever, but it's like, it's about principle, you know? When somebody tells you not to cross their boundaries and you keep crossing their boundaries, whatever happens to you is what happens to you. Real talk. Let's continue though, guys.
On by these two kids when I was riding the school bus home. I think I was around 5 and they were around 7. They were a bit older than me, and they used to pick on me on the school bus. They'd sit behind me.
Yo, Chad, what do you think about that hand symbol? A lot of the conspiracy theorists say some shit about this. I don't really know what it means, though.
Throw things at me, hit me, etc.
Yeah.
And I came home and I told my dad about it. I said, Dad, these 2 kids are picking on me every single time I get the school bus. I don't know what to do. And my dad said, I'm not going to call the teacher because the teacher ain't on the bus. And I'm not going to call the school bus driver because they're busy driving. Son, if you want to deal with this, you're going to have to deal with it yourself. And I said, but Dad, they're bigger than me. What do you want me to do? There's 2 of them and they're bigger than me. And at the time, I'd just come home from school and I was holding a lunchbox. And my dad pointed and said, you have a lunchbox, son?
Oh my God, I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. Oh my Lord. My bad about that, go.
Teach them. So weeks had passed. It was a few weeks. They kept picking on me, and I felt myself sitting there getting more insecure, and the rage was boiling inside of me. And one day, one of them slapped me in the side of the face from behind. I was sitting on the chair. He slapped me in the face from behind. And instantly, I don't know what it was.
Did he just do a real slap, or was that a sound effect?
This was the
sound effect.
And I turned with my lunchbox and swung it over the back of the school bus chair and caught him and busted his eye clean open. The plastic Batman
sound effect.
Hit him in the eye, and blood started squirting everywhere. All the children started screaming. And as I did this, the bus had just come up to a stop. It was a few stops before my stop, but it had stopped. And as the bus stopped and the screaming happened, I just got up and I just ran off the bus and ran home. I've never run so fast or so far in my life. I was full of adrenaline. I just ran. When I got home, I had blood on my clothes, and my dad looked at me. He said, what happened? And I said, that kid, I won't say his name. I said his name at the time. I said, that kid, he hit me in the face, and I had enough of getting hit in the face. And I was still holding the lunchbox.
What was left?
It was all smashed up.
Yeah.
Where I'd hit him with it. And my dad kind of smiled a little bit and said, don't worry, son. Get in the car. We got in the car and we went to Walmart. We walked up and down the aisle. And he looked and picked up another lunchbox, an exact replica of the same blue Batman lunchbox, gave it to me and said, I'll buy you as many of these as you need. And that was the last we spoke of it. Funnily enough, I never...
Chad, have you ever had a story like this? Have you ever had a moment where you stood up to a bully and blacked the fuck out? My dad grew up...
Real talk. I just gave y'all my example, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's real.
In Haiti, and he is light-skinned. Oh shit, there's no camera here. L story. Let me fix this, hold up. I was supposed to talk with your rage on this, but he didn't want to talk. Anyway, I was wondering if any of you guys have had a story standing up to a bully like that. I remember my dad told me this story because he grew up in Haiti and went to like a public school. Haiti is a black country. It's one of the first nations to revolt against slavery, and so they fought for their freedom. And it's one of the poorest countries in the world. If you don't know Haiti, Sakbase Haiti Sunu. I remember he used to tell me he used to always get picked on. Shout out to my dad. My dad was one of the biggest inspirations of my life. A good father figure is one of the most important things you can have, and I had that.
Facts.
He told me that he was getting picked on all the time. They called him white. They called him blanc. He kind of looks like Blake Griffin. That's what, like, for a visual of my dad. And then one day he just finally stood up to, they used to like go and beat the shit out of him in the bathroom. That's where everybody would fight, like by the urinals. And then one day he said he just saw red, he blacked out, and then hit everybody with a chair, had this giant moment. But yes, it was violent. Yes, he got in a lot of trouble in school. But whenever the people talk about having that moment, you could kind of hear a little bit of pride in their voice. Finally getting their get back. Finally.
Real talk, you got to get that get back. No cap. Got to get that get back because people think that it's sweet. It's not sweet over here. You try to pick on somebody you think is not like that, but then when you see that they like that, oh, it's a problem now. You know what I'm saying? Like, life isn't sunshines and fairies and all. Like, real talk. Stop playing with people. Don't play with people if you're not ready for what comes with it. No cap.
finally getting their revenge, finally standing up for themselves as a man. Have you had that moment? I've heard that a lot. Like they reflect on it and they remember being like, oh, I went too far. I should have done that. But at the same time, you could hear the essence of, I got my get back though.
Never saw that kid again. I don't know if he changed schools. I don't know what his parents did, but I never saw that child again. So even from a very, very young age, I was taught that going to authority and crying and hoping someone else is going to fix your problems is not the way a man should conduct himself. When I left Chicago, I moved to Luton, England, which was multiple times voted the worst town in England. It's a high crime rate. It's a very bad area. My mother and father broke up, so I was in a single mother household. And now I'm a person of color in a single mother household. I'm also the only American at the time in Luton. And I had, again, repeat problems in school. I was picked on for being the only American.
Can you think about it, considering how Alex Jones and Donald Trump got banned, how privileged it is to be mixed, saying the stuff that me and the Tates are saying? It would be so quick. Trump supporter, Nazi, all right. The fact that we're...
I will even go as far as to say that, Sneeko, how do you know that they're not saying those things about us anyway? You know what I'm saying, bro? It is what it is. Like we got to understand that people, regardless of the situation, are going to have their own opinions. So you got to focus on the things that matter, and the things that don't matter, let it go. Real talk.
Mix. A lot of privilege with freedom of speech, even though they just got silenced, and I'm going to get silenced very soon. I have a misinformation strike on my channel. It's so easy to box white people in who are saying the exact same thing with all the words that they're used to saying for people who disagree with them. But they get confused. The woke, liberal, Twitter, cancel culture mob, they don't really know what to call me because I'm so mixed. They call me incel, problematic, and it's like, okay, fine. Like, that doesn't really hit the same as racist, Trump supporter. There's a privilege in not being white, speaking about the truth.
That is a fact. I agree with that.
I was picked on for not knowing things I should have known because I hadn't been through the English educational system. I'd been through the American educational system.
Oh, and the TikTokers clipping this up right now who need to spread this message, make sure to censor the words like Nazi or any of the words that TikTok can deem as hate speech or bullying or harassment. Make sure to censor those words because they will try at any... Bro, they don't want you to hear this. They don't want you to see this message. So censor the shit out of it. TikTok has an agenda. Work around it. If they delete your video, color grade it, reverse it, add different captions, speed it up or make it a little bit faster, add that video game at the bottom. There's a ton of ways, and if you want to learn how to make TikToks properly and how the algorithm works, I'll teach you everything on the Creativity Kit. They're going to call it a pyramid scheme, they're going to try to take it down, and they're going to promote OnlyFans instead. But I want people to turn into online entrepreneurs. Don't just spend your time scrolling. It's time to make some money too. thecreativitykit.com before they take it down.
And I had trouble in school again, but I stuck up for myself. Unfortunately, nothing got violent at any point. But when people made fun of me, I stood up and said, listen, don't make fun of me. I'm from a different place, and I talk differently. And I always understood that standing up for yourself, I never went to the teacher, I never cried to anybody else. I just stood up for myself. And over time, people learned respect for me and my boundaries, and they were very respectful of me. And I had a very positive experience from then on out in school by simply standing up for myself, because this is how I was taught to act. In high school, I ended up having a reputation of a guy that nobody really messed with. I certainly wasn't a bully. Absolutely the opposite, but no one really picked on me. I actually had a friend in school who was gay. I had 5 main friends in school. I was also friends with a gay guy. And he would make fun of me for being American, and I would make fun of him for being gay back then. But the world was a very, very different place.
Back then, you could make fun of gay people for being gay.
Now you can. Now
you wouldn't go to jail for it.
Yeah,
the same thing. Actually, one of my best friends in high school was a gay guy. A ballerina, musical theater, stretching gay guy. One of those. We used to spend like most of our time together, like tripping acid. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, but it's true. We would spend a lot of time, you know, having deep conversations and battling back and forth. He would say that I was like toxically masculine, that I was overcompensating. He would say that I was insecure. And then I would call him gay and say that he was singing too much and he was doing too many splits.
The thing is that is exactly what people will try to say when they try to shame a masculine man. It is what it is. It's a coping mechanism for them. You know?
or he was acting too feminine. But it's good to disagree.
Yeah,
I like the fact that I have better friendships with people that I disagree with. The people that I have on my stream all the time on my panels are people that I have different ideologies than, because it's more interesting conversation that's going back and forth and agreeing with somebody. Part of the reason that, like, it wouldn't be that interesting if I had Andrew Tate on my stream because we agree on everything already. The reason that Tristan Tate on my stream can be kind of interesting is because I can interview him properly and I have years of interview experience from the 1 Minute Podcast. But it's more interesting to hear a conversation where your ideologies can clash. And if you could find somebody that knows how to disagree without getting triggered, that's your best friend.
This is many, many years ago. And we had friendly banter back and forth, but we were very good friends. And I stuck up for him and prevented anyone else picking on him all of the time. And the banter between us, the locker room talk, which would be considered absolutely unacceptable today, at the time was very, very normal. And we had a great time. We were good friends. And I heard from him, actually, after this ban. And he said, you should mention the fact that the things they say about you completely aren't true. And this leads me on to the reason I believe these narratives have managed to gain such a foothold in popular consciousness. Due to the fact I've managed to develop an iron mind, because I'm probably the only individual on earth who can be vilified to this level without taking personal insult and without being emotionally affected, what I have done is I've allowed certain narratives to gain traction, which I shouldn't have allowed to gain traction, because they didn't personally bother me. Because
like the human trafficking allegations, the reason he didn't adamantly try to defend that is because to people who can think critically, the allegations against the Tates are all nonsense.
Yeah,
it's all a lie. If you actually look it up, do your research, this is all.
But the problem is that a lot of people don't want to do their research because they're too stuck in their ways, and they're programmed by society to believe anything in which somebody tells you without doing proper research. Right? It is what it is.
Oh, bullshit. It's not that hard to figure out, but the internet's so dumb now. Your attention span has been watered down so much. You scroll all day long. You listen to other people's opinions without ever developing your own. You don't know how to think for yourself. So you hear these allegations and you automatically believe them. It's sad. But to Andrew and Tristan, they figured, oh, obviously we're not traffickers. Obviously we're not bad people. Obviously the women we're around want to be around us.
Facts.
We're not holding them on a leash. We're not holding them hostage. They want to be here. Obviously. Anybody who's really getting to it can tell. They're not being held captive, but the fucking idiots on the internet believe anything that Soy Boys and the Agenda wants you to believe.
Facts.
Because what he's saying, what Andrew and Tristan say, triggers you. So you'll find any way to attack them and bring them down, even when it's so obviously a lie.
Facts. Facts.
That's where you made the mistake. Because they're not from the internet social media world. They didn't know how adamantly they had to defend that from the beginning and how a false story, they can manipulate it and it could just run wild. And everybody will automatically believe it. Because they're not from the social media world, they didn't think about that. But that's the internet. I know that. They don't. And that's why they're going to be fine. That shit that really pissed me off. I was talking to Tristan yesterday, and Tristan's like, I'm quite busy today. I have a hot tub date with 2 girls. I'm like, fuck, bro. I'm here like, fuck. They banned Tate. They banned, what are we going to do? It's off Instagram, on YouTube. They're trying to, masculinity is ruined. Freedom of speech is dead. And Tristan's just like, oh, I'm going to go sail on a yacht around Croatia. What the fuck? These guys are really about it. They're rich. They don't give a fuck about social media.
Facts. And for any guy who amasses their wealth off of social media, understand that you're in a position of greatness. Why am I saying that? Because most men are not going to be able to put themselves in a position to do that, you know, unfortunately.
I have to because I'm not a millionaire yet. I have to care about this stuff. I have to be mad when they censor and delete people because this is my livelihood. Do you realize how stressful that is now? The fact that you could so easily get banned? So easily. They can just take it away just like that. And the way that I make money, my livelihood, the thing that I love doing, my favorite thing in the world, this could just be taken away in a snap. But they don't care. I'm telling you, the internet, the outrage on the internet is 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times more than will ever be infected into the Tate's mind. They don't give a fuck. They're chilling. They're
That's a fact.
millionaires. And that's really what's been proven by their existence on the internet. When you see people richer than you, when you see people stronger and smarter than you have a decision. Get triggered or learn.
Most people are going to get triggered because it's the indoctrination. That's what it is.
Immediately, I just want to learn. If you have more money than me, if you're more successful, if you won more fights, if you're a champion, oh, okay, you know something that I don't. Most people on the internet, when they hear someone who's like more knowledgeable, who's like doesn't care if you like them or not, you go, ah, ah. I decided, let me listen up. And as a result, I have made more money in the last month than I've made in the last year. I quit weed, which was holding me back. I was smoking weed daily for 9 years. I cut it out. I stopped wasting my time with people who were dragging me down. I figured out what I need to focus on. I started networking more. I started traveling the world more. I started being around people who are like-minded. I pretty much only talk to millionaires. Even my editor, Musa, is making 6 figures now, and he's 19. He's making a 6-figure salary working with me and doing his own consultation calls. We have cut out distractions and we have focused on what's really important. So I'm gonna tell you one more time. There's 2 lanes in the internet that you can follow now. Ambition or complacency.
No cap.
They want you to be complacent. They want you to paint your nails, sit down, pop your pills, cry, cancel people, and never be a strong person. Because an independent man is the biggest threat to the status quo.
Real talk, biggest threat to society.
Pick ambition.
I know they are false. I live with a very, very pure heart. I'm a religious man. I go to church, and anyone...
Hold on, guys, 1 second. I'm going to be back in like 2 seconds. My bad, guys. Let's get back into this video, all right?
Who follows me in detail knows I donate huge sums of money to the church. And as long as I knew the truth of my heart and God knew the truth of my heart, I wasn't interested in lies being purported. I now understand that that's wrong, because even though I've done nothing wrong, even though it doesn't emotionally affect me, even though God and myself know my innocence, the public consciousness has been polluted to a point where narratives are being purported which are absolutely and utterly false. And it's having a genuine negative impact on the people who I care about and the people who care about me. And despite the fact it doesn't emotionally affect me, as a man, I have a duty to protect all of those I love. And for this reason, these narratives have started to become very, very harmful. I was on the understanding that on the internet, people don't like you. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you say. There's going to be some people who don't like you, and the people who don't like you are not interested in the truth.
That's what you need to realize. That's the biggest advice I can give to you if you want to start getting into content creation or being an online person. Most people are not equipped to handle
the stuff that you have to tell them, and it is what it is.
Dislike. They're not equipped mentally for the shitstorm of people in the comment section saying, "You suck. This is cringe. I hate you. This is bad." You just gotta bob and weave. Who gives a fuck? You're not gonna be likable to everybody. And when you try to be likable to everybody, that's when you're boring.
Facts.
Entertainment, real entertainment, half the people watching
gotta be controversial.
It is what it is. Just accept it. But most people do not know how to handle it, and we tell you that you shouldn't be capable to handle it. I need a mental health break. I need to, what do they say? I'm burnt out. I'm gonna go on a, shut up. Deal with it. It's a YouTube comment. It's a Reddit post. It's a tweet. It's an Instagram comment hating. Who gives a fuck? If they don't like you, they don't need to watch.
People care too much about what other people have to say about them, bro. I keep saying it. The minute you stop caring, the minute you stop paying attention to people who don't provide any value to you, you're going to be all set. Like, for real. You know? People care too much, man.
Why are they watching you if they don't like you? Do you realize how lame you have to be invested like that deeply into someone's life that you apparently dislike? You a fan. You're a
fanboy, yeah.
Every single day I stream, and every single day the haters watch. They like typing up stuff. They like to act like they dislike me, but I'm entertaining to you.
No cap.
Spend your time watching something else that you actually like. You'll be happier. But no, they like to hate watch.
They would
Just get over that. Don't try to be likable to everybody. It will be if you're genuinely being yourself, you will always piss somebody off. It is what it is. Accept it.
Real talk.
I've been trained that because I've been doing this shit since I was 14. I got that milli plaque on my main channel, Sneeko. This streaming shit is all new. I've been used to the comments. I have built a level of self-awareness being chronically online that you can't really crack me. What are you going to say about me that I haven't heard? What are you going to say? The only dirt you got against me is shit that I've talked about. I got nothing to hide. It's me and the camera.
No cap. That's real.
What they are interested in is finding some lie that they can latch onto and accelerating that lie on as much as possible via their platforms to try and paint a negative picture of you because they don't like you. A lot of these attacks against me are disguised under the virtue of caring about women. But none of these people who are attacking me care about women. None of them donate to women's charities. None of them donate to charity.
That's a fact.
None of them.
Majority of them don't, at least.
I'm about to show later on in this video.
They don't help. You know what they think? You know what those people think? Tweeting saying, Tate sucks, Sneeko's a bad person. They feel a sense of moral justice doing that. This is for all the women out there. That's what that fucking fat piece of shit who claimed that he got Tate removed said. This one was for the women. You don't donate to shit.
You know, all he donate. I bet you he's not donating to the women. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it a buck.
You don't actually do anything but try to bring people down that you've been programmed to think are misogynists. You've been programmed.
Exactly. It's called indoctrination. A lot of these people are drones. You can't make this up.
You're a bot. Do something. You care so much about women. Where your money at?
Proof of the massive work I do for helping people. They don't help anybody. All they do is just attack me and use fake virtue, the fact they pretend to care, as a reason to attack somebody who they personally don't like. And it's very, very different to actually care about an issue or weaponize an issue and pretend to care to try and damage someone else's life.
Reputation,
These are very,
yep.
very different things.
Yep.
And this is the reason why I have not tried to dispel these myths as hard as I could have, because I understood that these people are always going to hate me.
Regardless.
Always going to
No
lie
cap.
about me, no matter what I say or do. But considering in light of the final ban.
Hold on 1 second, guys. I'll be back. Hold on 1 quick second.
And considering I have the public consciousness, I think it's extremely important that for myself and for my family and for people I care about, that I tell the truth and I make the truth known to the world, because that is the only intention in my video, is to sit and tell the truth. And the fact that I'm a very, very iron-minded individual who is not negatively affected by these smear campaigns is not reason enough for me not to sit, take time, and dispel all the—
I promise you, they are not affected by any of this. That was the most annoying part. It was like I was more angry than they were. They don't give. They're gonna go back to being millionaires, driving their Bugatti. It doesn't matter. This is just a little fun thing, a little side project, a side hustle they tried out. They reached the top, got banned, whatever. Move on.
The negative things which are said about me. I am fully—
It is what it is. It is what it is.
That not everybody is gonna agree with what I say.
It is what it is.
I don't think there's a person on the planet you can find who has a 100% approval rate. There's always going to be somebody who
has a hater.
With what you say. If I said the earth was round, there would be a contingent of individuals on the planet who disagree with me. I have no problem with people disagreeing with me. I have no problem with being seen as controversial for some of the things I've said.
Yeah.
However, I do have two significant problems I would like to
You're always going to be seen as controversial when you speak the truth. It is what it is.
address. The first is I do not like absolute and utter lies being told about me. I do not like having long-form video of me cut up, elements taken out of context, the tonality of the joke removed, and purporting an image of me that is not true. That's something I do not like. I do not like false accusations of criminal activity. That's another thing that I really do not like. I am totally aware that not everybody is going to like me. I have no problems with that. I think anyone who decides to get big on the internet needs to be very, very prepared for a contingent of people to not be happy with what they say.
What I just said.
I could make a YouTube channel dedicated to the fact that I believe the world is round, and there would be a large or semi-large
that would tell you it's flat.
People who would disagree with me. I don't think there's a single creator online that has a 100% approval rate.
They don't.
I have a lot of people who love what I say. I have a lot of fans. A lot of people are dedicated to my channel, and I have a lot of positivity online. And I have a small contingent of people who are very, very offended by what I say. We often talk about—
I wouldn't say it's small. I would say that's a huge percentage of social media.
In the modern world, the inclusivity of different cultures, different ways of life, different sexual orientations, and how we need to be tolerant and understanding of all these different people's life paths, and by extension, their different ways of viewing the world. I'm a unique individual, as is everybody else, and I have a unique life path that has led me to unique points of view. I think that all of the people who disagree with me are very, very welcome to disagree with me because they have had a unique life path and a different point of view, and I respect that, absolutely. I would never shout for any of the people who disagree with anything I say to be silenced or canceled, because I don't think—
Because you don't care that much about what they have to say. That's why.
I think that discourse is always going to be the way that we lead ourselves to the truth.
Healthy discourse, something that the internet is completely incapable of anymore because people are told that their initial emotional reaction is valid. So they don't know how to disagree. But the most important thing about freedom of speech is being able to disagree with people and have discourse. Discuss things, have a different point of view, and then not hate each other afterwards. Not cancel each other afterwards. Healthily disagree, find common ground, discuss, talk. But the woke people, the liberals,
they don't want
agenda
that.
Is telling you that you don't even have to argue your points. The weakest men on the internet, Lasanabi and L3L3, Ethan Decline, are not even capable of debate. They're capable of echoing the same nonsense that they see on Twitter hashtags to their bot audience who never wants to improve. Because as soon as they have a debate, they get exposed because their ideas are so surface level and flawed. There's holes in all of their logic, but they don't want to address it because they know it's horse shit. You're not a bad debater. You just can't think past level 3. And everybody who watches you is complacent and sad, and they take it out on other people on the internet.
If those dudes are
people
complacent,
that watch me,
if those dudes are complacent and sad, it's because they're promoting it. Real talk. Like, they don't want men to be masculine, and when you have people like Hasanabi and Ethan Klein, they're going to try to promote complacency in men. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad. They're going to try to promote complacency. They don't want you to be able to get on your ish and self-improve and get better. It's sad, you know.
And the people that watch the Tates, They actively want to improve their life. They want to laugh at things that are actually funny. Lasanabi and Eat the Decline and all the other soy boys and the people canceling them, lying about the trafficking, they're not even funny. They're not even capable of entertaining. They're just like coping mechanisms for complacent people who gave up on life.
Facts.
And if anybody has anything contrary to say about any of my points of view, I welcome it. I like to hear it. And as long as it's in a respectful and adult manner, I often platform it on my platforms as much as possible so I can sit and discuss and I can learn things.
Chat, WRL, have you seen the panels that I've had recently? I had Muslims come on to talk. I've had Christians. I've had like borderline white supremacists talking to black people. I've had feminists, I've had liberals, I've had conservatives, I have people who disagree with me adamantly. People have come on my panels on my stream and said, I disagree with most of what you say. I've debated every type of person, people 10 years older than me, people who have debated politicians. I debate everybody. I talk to everybody. I have discourse on a regular basis because that's what freedom of speech is about.
Exactly.
But you're so polarized by social media, most of you are not even capable of disagreeing because you get offended.
Real talk, because they're in their
Point
feelings.
of view and someone challenges it in a...
It feels over reals. That's what we got to understand, guys. In situations like this, people don't want to be able to acknowledge when they could potentially learn to be able to self-improve. It hurts my feelings. That's all that matters to them. You know?
Very adult, correct, logical way. Very often I have changed my point of view. And this has been really, really good for me as a person to grow and for the audience to grow. And I know I've changed many other people's minds when they've come to debate with me. And this is the beauty of being human. So I have no problem with being disliked. I do have a problem with a few things. I have a problem with long format things I've said being taken out of context, taking a small clip from a 2-hour piece of video.
And editing it up in a montage to make you look bad intentionally. They did that with Joe Rogan. They did it with me. They did it with Tate. They do it with anybody they want to cancel because you're so dumb. Most of you are so dumb that you won't actively seek out and try to figure out, what was the context of that? What was the context of that joke that's offending me right now? Am I going to search it up and actually look to see if that's what he was trying to say? Or am I just going to leave a hate comment and wish death on this person?
I'm going to say this one thing right now. What y'all don't realize is that Andrew Tate wasn't actually the first person to come out and do the stuff that he's doing. The first person, at least as of this year, who came out and did the stuff that Andrew Tate is doing was Kevin Samuels. And as you can see, especially for the black community, right? A lot of people wished downfall on Kevin Samuels until he passed away. Rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. But the reality of the situation is that they don't want you to be masculine in the world. When you're a masculine man, they're going to try to shame you. And you know what? It is what it is. Real talk, it is what it is. You gotta accept the good with the bad, you know? As unfortunate as it is, reality is reality. Real talk.
You know what they usually pick? Yeah, I don't need to say it.
Then, with careful editing, removing of tonality, and changing my intention behind the words, painting me to be a criminal or a bad person when I am not. I do have a problem with false criminal accusations when I do not have a criminal record. And I have never had a criminal record in any country on the planet.
The stupidest argument I ever heard. If they were human traffickers, they'd be in jail. They wouldn't be able to fly over the world. How bot are you? Are you that programmed? Do you not know how the law works? Some of the most famous people in the world, and you think that if they were traffickers, that they'd still be walking free? Are you dumb?
It's a way to shame them. It's a coping mechanism for trying to shame the men, unfortunately. Not working, you know what I'm saying?
I know you are dumb, but do you think about how dumb you are?
I have a problem with this. And also I have a problem with the fact that social media has changed so much in modern times. A lot of the things I said that are being used against me were said 5 or 6 years ago in long format video. And as of late, with TikTok, with YouTube Shorts, with Instagram Reels, it's very, very easy to take 2 hours of video, snip out 10 seconds, edit it up quickly on a phone app, and then blow it up to millions and millions of views with all context removed, all tonality removed, and makes it look like I'm saying things I did not say or I mean things I did not mean. And this is something that I can't control. I became the most Googled man on the planet, and to a degree, I'm a victim of my own success, because now people are trying to find any little clip of anything I've ever said, remove all the tonality, and just blow it up to try and get views to be as controversial as possible.
It's jealousy. When you up, they just want to bring you down.
Facts.
I understand why they're doing that. They're doing that because they want the views for themselves.
Jealousy.
But they're not taking into consideration how that affects me and my personal image as a whole.
They don't care.
They don't care. They don't care.
The things I've just highlighted has now culminated in the media believing something about me which is so pertinently false, based on videos I have never even made.
Facts.
Purported and accelerated and advertised by people who I don't even know, with such a small piece of video from me, with all context removed.
Facts.
That I've now become the #1 villain of Earth, and I truly believe that's unjust.
It
and
is.
I want to discuss that here and prove to the world in my final message that I am not any of the things I've been accused of.
Final message is crazy. Chad, it was fun while it lasted. I felt like the old internet for a little bit. Someone who didn't give a fuck. Someone who wasn't conforming for the liberal agenda. Just, I don't care.
Now it's different.
Listen or don't listen, but you can't handle it anymore.
100%, they can't.
Regardless of whether I am banned, reinstated, remain on social media, is completely beside the point. This is just a matter of clearing the air while I have the national consciousness. I was massively a victim of my own success. I decided to accelerate my public persona and presence about 6 months ago. And I was massively successful. I became the most Googled man on the planet. I am, by the metrics of the internet, the most famous individual who is currently alive in the world today.
Crazy flex.
That comes with a bunch of advantages.
That's why they had to ban him.
Facts.
That's why they got to delete you.
And disadvantages. We can go into those at depth. The disadvantages are safety aspects, safety concerns, which we're going to talk about a bit later. I've had serious threats on my life. I receive over 5,000 death threats per day. So do people who I love and people I care about. They also receive death threats. The social media companies have yet to take any action.
Take any action. They're not going to do that.
They want you to die.
Exactly. It's sad.
Interested in trying to police this in any form. The advantages are, of course, is that I have a massive effect on people.
On the youth.
And I have had thousands of emails from men saying, you've saved me from depression. You saved me from suicide. You helped me so much. The #1 video on my YouTube channel.
I'm going to say it too. The Tates, their information on their podcast have motivated me more than anything else I've ever heard on the internet. I turned my life around. Since I started listening to them, I've only been streaming for 3 months, and I was maybe 2 or 3 weeks into streaming. You could see it the first time I even reacted to them. I was like, what are these guys doing wearing these shirts and talking so loud? And I peeped the confidence. I peeped the entertainment value they were adding, and I started listening. Because like I said, you have 2 options, get triggered or listen up. I figured, okay, they're richer, they're stronger, they're champions. They don't give a fuck about me. I don't have to listen to this, but I will because I want to be
it's gonna help you
as
improve.
Successful as they are. Since I started applying that knowledge to my life, it's completely turned around. So here's somebody right here who has just heard, I haven't even spoken to Andrew before, I've only spoken to Tristan. Their information has helped me more than school, more than anything else. Like personally in my life, like I've never had somebody say something to me like that really resonated with me to that level. I've never agreed with somebody. I feel like the Tates were speaking, and chat, you can let me know if you think this is true. They were saying what men all inherently know, but we've been trained to think is immature, is bad for you, is toxic. But you resonated with it, and the reason they went so viral
is because a lot of people resonate.
Deep down inherently know that this is the truth. Since I started applying that to my life, it flipped around.
Real talk.
I've never been this focused before. I've never been so set in stone on what I believe. And Tristan's saying now that he's passing the torch to me and that I need to keep the message going. But once again, I'm going to say I cannot do this on my own. I need your help. They're going to come for me next. They're going to try to ban me next.
Yeah, they are.
And I want to be that strong alpha fucking... I don't want to be worshipped to the level that... And I think that Andrew's ego, maybe it was just a character. I don't think it was. I think he was tapping into some of the thoughts that were actually in his head. But here he's coming off really humble. But I think towards the end, he was putting out a little too much narcissism in the air. Like the last stream he did with Aiden, he was talking about, I'm one of God's favorites. I think the message was getting distracted and the bigger picture was not being looked at. A lot of men really need to hear this information and they're actively trying to hide it.
You know what I think it is? I think, Sneeko, this is what I think it is, bro. And for the woke family watching right now, I think the last stream with Aiden and Tate, I think Tate was just doing that to troll Aiden. I don't think he was actually serious. Now, with that being said, the message is way much more important than what the messenger has to say. And I think the problem is that in situations like this, they try to shoot the messenger instead of understanding the message. You know? That's what it is.
So instead of just like flexing and reading your poems in a YouTube video, I wanted to hear more about the Matrix. I wanted to hear more about Andrew's life experience. And he seemed like he was getting a little too deep into the character, which I get was entertaining. I was entertained, but in my opinion, it should have been mixed in more with the actual message. But this video here is exactly my favorite type of Andrew content.
My pinned video has been for over a year. Mind hacks, how to beat depression, how to feel better as a man.
Sitting there believing that depression is some monster from the sky that strikes your brain and now you have no control over it and you must take pills every day is the absolute enemy to a G mindset. I don't give a fuck how depressing my situation. The only person who can change it is me.
It's you.
The only person who can change how I feel about my situation or try and affect the situation directly is me. Even if you put me in a situation I can't change, if you put me in jail and I'm depressed because I'm in jail, I still refuse to succumb to depression. I refuse to collapse mentally and give up. I know the only person who can control my mind is me.
We're not weak.
Nobody's coming to save me.
As a man who's been through such a difficult life, I think I have a very intimate understanding of difficulty and how to grow as a man and how to become the kind of man that can handle a difficult life, because this has been my life path. This is what God chose for me. And this is what I've been teaching. And I have affected positively millions of people, and I'm immensely proud of that. I truly am. However, people couldn't stop talking about me. And when people were talking about me, they weren't doing it out
in a positive way.
They weren't doing it because they cared about me. The main reason people were talking about me so extensively is because they cared about their own channels, their own views. They wanted their own clicks. And they understood that if they can make a YouTube video purporting a lie about me or saying bad things about me,
it's gonna get the views.
It's more likely to get clicked. It's more likely to get watched. It's more likely to get shared. Expose, Andrew Tate is this. Expose,
Chad, we've reacted to so many of those videos in the stream. And W, if you realize about how many reactions I did of all the soy boys, all the libs, saying the same exact opinion on different channels. Chad, he's they all said the same shit. They're not saying anything unique. They all just wanted a viral expose Andrew Tate video.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Tate is that. And what's happened is people, through their own selfish desires of trying to piggyback off the back of my massive fame and becoming the most famous man on the planet, have decided that making a bunch of negative videos is a fantastic way for them to personally gain clout and personally gain views and clicks, which is what the internet is about. And we ended up in a situation where videos of me from long ago are being taken out of context purposefully to try and purport a narrative which is not true, because people understand that's a very easy way for them to gain some clout and leech off of my success. That's all fine. Like I said, I have no problem with people disagreeing with me, being disliked, etc. However, when it has an effect to this magnitude, where I am genuinely seen as a negative, bad influence on the world, when all of the emails...
They're gonna use you as a hit piece because you're easy. They view you as easy. Just the same way they did it to Fresh and Fit last year when they were at like 400K. And then you had people like Abba and Preach and all the other channels coming after them saying that they were wrong, that they, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, come on now, let's be honest.
I receive from people who watch me are positive, saying that I'm helping people, how I've helped their mind, I've cured their depression. It's really strange to experience such a disconnect, to have 98% of the people who email you say how fantastic you are and how much you helped them, and then 2% of unknowns threatening your life. And then everyone I meet on the street saying such amazing things. Since I've become the most famous man on the planet, I have never once had a negative experience in real life.
It's crazy. I have the exact same experience. Everybody that's come up to me, I was just in a bunch of sneaker stores today walking around. Everyone's happy. Guys in Best Buy. You don't see it. But the internet's platformed hate. The internet has given a place for jealous, miserable people to go and feel better about themselves by hating on somebody else. In real life, they don't do it. But when they're miserable, they got nothing going on, they don't like themselves, they feel disgusting, nothing's working out. Instead of reflecting,
they would rather hate.
They put it on you. But in real life, same experience. All the hate I get, all the people wishing that I actually did get jumped, all the people that are like really happy when they thought that I got hurt, people that want me to die, I never hear it in real life. Keep hiding behind your phone, pussy.
Everybody who meets me.
And chat, W20K, we got 20K live viewers right now. We should get the likes up right now. Let's spread this message around.
He's very respectful, a fan. We take pictures, we shake hands. Nobody has screamed at me in public. Nobody's come up to me and called me names in public. Nobody said I'm wrong. I've been to over 20 countries. I've never had a single negative in-person experience ever. So the people love me. At the same time, the media is saying I'm hated. It's a very strange disconnect that I've been experiencing. And a lot of that has been purported and accelerated by the fact that people are trying to gain views on their own channels, separate to me, nothing to do with me, by accelerating lies. It's also an interesting case study into internet mass hysteria, right? If 50 videos come out saying Tate's a bad guy, it takes a lot of bravery for someone to come out and say Tate's not a bad guy, despite the evidence. I can show evidence to the contrary of these negative narratives for the end of time. But if somebody can see, if a YouTube creator or a content creator can see, if you make a negative video about Tate, you get a bunch of clicks, and everyone else did it, well, then I may as well do it. They don't sit there and go, what about Andrew? What about the truth of this? What about the effect on his life? What about the effect on his experience of the world?
Facts.
That doesn't come into consideration. What comes into consideration is, everyone else did this and got a bunch of views, I want a bunch of views. And even though what they're saying is false, even though some of them know it's false, some of them may not, but the ones who are well-researched know it's a lie.
They know it's a lie.
It's very, very tempting for them to sit there and do it anyway, because there's no repercussion. There's no downside to them. All that's going to happen is they're going to get a bunch of clicks, a bunch of views, a bunch of comments, a lot of people defending me because they know it's not true, a lot of people agreeing with them who are less researched. They're going to completely benefit, and the only person who's going to suffer is me.
Yes.
I want to call out somebody, and it might affect our future relationship. And even though I looked up to him a lot as a kid, I was recently speaking with KSI. He just followed me on Twitter, and that was like a huge, deal for me. I've been watching KSI since I was like 10. And he recently followed me and we started talking. And then the other day when Tate got banned, I saw KSI tweet, "Thank God Andrew Tate got banned." And I was DMing him back and forth today, and I know this is a private conversation, but I'm going to talk about it because I think it's relevant. So it's something that he genuinely thinks. And he already tweeted that he was happy. Thank God Tate got banned. I'm like, you've been canceled so many times for doing Heskey time, for doing the R-word face, making fun of essay victims. It's what you were doing. And now you're celebrating the downfall of somebody else.
Another man especially.
So not only do I think that you're just echoing what they want you to echo because you're scared of getting canceled against it, now you're siding with the elites, you're siding with the programming because you almost got your shit taken away, but also how you don't see the hypocrisy in calling the Creativity Kit or calling Hustlers University a scam when you make videos promoting OF girls and prawn girl, like the Sidemen Tinder video. Most of the people who watch that video are 12 years old. It goes on trending, of course.
And I'll keep it a buck. I did react to the Simon Tinder video that he's exactly talking about, and I said that the girls that are being promoted on that video are demonic. A lot of those, if you watch that video, a lot of those girls are promoting having threesomes and getting trans ran on them and all these demonic things. And it's like, bro, you really need to be careful of the energy that you possess and the energy you put out into the world, because when it comes back to you, you better be ready to take it. We live in a demonic world with a lot of demonic activities happening. So I do to an extent agree with where Sneako's coming from. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate, but it's reality, bro. Let's continue.
Of course, because they want you to be dumber. But what they're doing is they're putting prawn stars in the middle of a video and all of them have to try to get them. And you know why the prawn stars do it? Free promo. Free promo. All the kids that are watching it are going to go subscribe to their OF right after. All the kids who are watching it Yeah, it's like dumb entertainment, but it's basically softcore. So what they're gonna do right after watching that video is go on OF and on the websites that these girls are on.
And lose their energy.
It's feeding negative emotion in it's bad for you.
Facts.
Braun has never helped anybody before. Don't say LSI. Don't say LSI. But I want to call him out on that because you said, thank God he was banned. And he didn't take that back. He doubled down on that statement. I'm like, what are you? And even then, to see the hypocrisy, he's saying that the creativity kid at Hustle's University is just a scam, that is just trying to get money. No.
It's funny how and I understand that KSI is a fellow Nigerian just like myself, but it's like, regardless of if we're cut from the same cloth or whatever, if you're wrong, I'm gonna say you're wrong. I find it funny how you call Hustle's University and the creativity kit a scam or a pyramid scheme, whatever, but you never bought it for one day, and you never tested it out to see if you could actually make money from it or go viral. Come on, bro. Like, you could just tell, like, in certain things that people say, that they have a little bit of animosity in what they say, and it's sad. They have a little bit of animosity, and it's like they make it seem as if they're competing against everybody. Now, yes, I understand that when it comes to the YouTube space, majority of the things are a competition when it comes to views, subscribers, all those things. But it's like, not everything has to be seen as a competition. Like, it's okay for you to see other men winning and congratulate them and give them their flowers. KSI doesn't seem like the type of person to do that. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is, you know?
It's actually teaching people how to make money online. My creativity kit is teaching you how to become an online entrepreneur. Yeah, I get money off of it, but so do they.
Facts.
What you want your audience to spend money on is OF. And he's like, oh, they're gonna watch it anyway. They don't have to, and you should tell them how bad it is for them. You have an audience that's bigger than mine. You're one of the most famous people on the internet. Why are you encouraging something that we all know is damaging to the minds of young men?
That's facts.
Because that's what the Matrix wants you to watch.
Facts.
They don't want you to improve yourself. They want you to be dumber, weaker, and tired. Here's all your energy to a bunch of...
You know why he's promoting it, bro? Unfortunately, is because he knows that he can profit off of it, bro. Sometimes when it comes to this money thing, people will promote things that they know that will make them sell their soul just because they can make a quick buck off of it. It's sad.
OF girls. Here's all my money, OF girls. And it just makes both of the people sadder. The girl doesn't know how to like a man without profiting off of him, and the guy has the weirdest expectations of women possible.
Facts, he feels like he has to trick.
That's one of the most damaging things to the minds of young men, and they're actively promoting.
Real talk, because it tricks your brain into believing that you're actually with the girl when you're really not with her, and then you have to trick on her when you really don't have to trick.
And YouTube puts it on the trending page.
Facts.
But how hypocritical to call an entrepreneurship course a scam when you promote the most damaging thing to the minds of young men and all your audience are a bunch of 12-year-olds. Disappointed. I saw him change. I don't want you to spam LSI, and I know this is going to damage the relationship that we could have in the future, but I don't care. It's the truth. Same thing with L3L3. L3L3 was one of my favorite YouTubers when I was growing up, and I saw him change. I saw him switch up. I saw him get afraid of cancel culture. I saw him vote for Hillary Clinton. He sold out. KSI, he started facing like, he saw the fans start to turn against him. So instead of trying to explain, he just like, oh, it was bad. No, he got scared and switched up. And you know what he told me? He told me this is all for entertainment. And not everything has, this is like word for word he said, all of this is entertainment. Not everything has to have a greater message. I'm just here to entertain. I think that's horseshit. If you're one of those famous people, you have a platform, and you realize that there's a spiritual warfare going on.
This is the thing though, Sneeko. Unfortunately, majority of people don't understand that there is spiritual warfare going on. It's both spiritual and physical warfare. A lot of people, especially a lot of young men, do not realize their value, you know? And sometimes it takes people like myself and yourself and myself to be able to wake the masses up. There are a lot of people with big followings, with big audiences that don't really take advantage of the system to be able to help their audience become more woke, you know? KSI in this situation, based off of the way you're explaining it and based off of what I see, is one of those dudes, unfortunately. He said that he's just here to entertain people. It's like, no, bro, you have a bigger purpose. But you have to allow yourself to be led by God to be able to fulfill that purpose. If you're not led by God, then you're led by the devil. And if you're led by the devil, then you're going to do demonic activity. You're going to allow the devil to corrupt you in ways in which he's not supposed to corrupt you. You know? And it's not only KSI I'm talking about. I'm just saying anybody in general that has a big following. You have to use your how do I say it, your clout, or you have to use your identity as a positive thing to be able to influence people in the right way.
There's a war on masculinity. People are becoming weaker. Women are becoming men, and men are becoming women. There's a clear problem. Men are getting sadder. This mental health thing is a real problem going on.
Big facts. Big facts.
And a lot of what they offer, better help, that shit does not help anything. Information can help people. So to be one of the most famous people in the world, and I guess I'm an entertainer too. This is entertainment right now, even though I'm trying to spread truth. But you should have at least an ounce of truth in what you're talking about. Don't just be here, I'm just entertaining. If you're just entertaining, if you're just a fucking clown, then don't celebrate when someone else gets deleted. Somebody who is trying to spread truth. Stick to entertaining. Sing your songs, play your FIFA, and go talk to Prawn Stars and Sidemen Tinder. Be an entertainer then, and stay out of the truth. I'm disappointed, KSI.
And because I have an iron mind and I wasn't emotionally affected by this, and I understood the nature of the internet, I didn't try to combat it too hard. I didn't know exactly what I should do, because I had already told the truth.
Chad, when you clip that up, make sure to censor the swears, or else they're gonna delete it off of TikTok.
On repeat, many, many, many times, but nobody would acknowledge it. They would just ignore it because it got more clicks to purport the lies. So I thought, that's the nature of the internet. I've never been this famous before. I guess that's just how it goes. Unfortunately, now public consciousness, via the media, has genuinely bought into a construct where people believe I'm somehow dangerous, when all I have done is save people from depression. We talk about men's mental health. Patty Pimblett just fought and talk about if you have trouble with men's mental health, come forward.
As I said, women talk to each other. There's no stigma on women. They sit around and have a cup of tea and have a jangle.
True that.
Men don't, lad. Men feel like, oh, I can't go and say that to him because he'll think I'm a little mushroom. You know what I mean? That's what men think. But as I said in the cage, I'd much rather my friend come to me and speak to me and cry on my shoulder than me have to cry when I'm carrying his coffin a week later.
I just wanted to show the world that if mental health could bring somebody as big as me and as strong as me and, you know, the stereotype heavyweight champion of the world to me knees, then it could bring anybody to the knees.
Tyson Fury talk about it. I talk about it. Everyone tries to talk about it. And everyone says, men, you should talk more, talk to us. I try and encourage men to be strong. I say, listen, if you're depressed, you need to get in the gym. A strong body is a strong mind. I sit there, and by using my lifestyle, which is an aspirational lifestyle that most men would love to have, purely because of the finance, the cars, the freedom, etc., I encourage people to work hard and try their best to become the best version of themselves. And men are encouraged to talk and open up. But when I talk and open up and get massive influence and start helping people, they're going to silence me.
Facts.
I have been nothing but a net positive for the world. That's truly how I view myself, and that's absolutely and utterly the truth. However, I am very understanding of a changing social media landscape, and I'm also very, very understanding of my fame changing. And by extension, I have some responsibility to bear. I am a man who believes that he is responsible for everything. I think as a man, you should take complete responsibility for your
actions and for your life.
It doesn't matter if I'm struck by lightning. That is my fault. That's who I am as an individual, and it's been one of my keys to success, to never blame luck, never blame anybody else, to only blame myself.
So that's a weak, complacent mindset.
Despite everything I've just said, I still blame myself. And because my rise has been so meteoric, because I've become so famous so quickly, and because I've been producing content for so long, even though I take absolute responsibility, I'm in a difficult scenario where videos that were made 5 or 6 years ago in long form are now being cut into 5 seconds, accelerated and purported now in line with my new line fame. I can't stop that happening. But I also understand I have a degree of responsibility, right? Because I'm the most influential person on the planet. So My responsibility is to make sure that any kind of negative connotations in my messaging are removed. I want to stick to my message. I don't want to backtrack. I still want to champion men's issues. I still want to champion physical and mental strength. I still want to champion the protection of women. I still want to do that. However, I must be ultra aware of how I do that, because it would be unprofessional of me as a man to sit and say that my messaging does not have to change in line with my fame. Exactly. The way you can say things in a video that gets 500 views is very different than the way you can say things in a video that gets 500 million views or 50 million views. You have to change your messaging. The more people you reach, the more important it is that people do not take your things out of context, right? If 0.1% of people misunderstand you on a 500-person video, that will not have a large effect on the world. But if 0.1% of people misunderstand you on a video that has 50 million views, now you start to affect the world in a negative way.
Facts.
So I have to be very, very, very careful in line with my newfound fame. And it's difficult because in the world I'm in, if I sit down and do a 3-hour podcast, it's my job to be entertaining. And I want to give exciting answers and interesting insights. I think the reason people follow me is because I have a very firm understanding of the English language, a very good grasp of the way to construct sentences, how to be motivating, how to be compelling. And I do that on purpose. But it's also very difficult for me, regardless of my intellect, to now sit at a podcast, be interesting, be exciting, give a compendious and concise answer, at the same time, be wary that in my 1-minute answer, at any point, 6 seconds worth of it can be taken, snipped,
out of context,
used against me, and
as a
weaponized.
fact.
I don't know if my mind can handle all those tasks at once. It's not very often I'm stumped, but that is becoming extremely difficult. And I'm sitting here thinking I've been offered massive podcast requests by the biggest podcasts in the world. And I'm thinking, how can I answer questions? How can I be a responsible adult, because that's what I am? How can I be a professional, take responsibility for my level of fame to make sure that nothing can be taken out of context, but still tell my truth and still answer the questions, but construct my sentences in a way where they can't be misrepresented at all?
Yeah.
It's impossible. And that's why I'm kind of in the sweet spot right now. We almost got 22,000 live viewers right now. Make sure to hit the like button. But being at this sweet spot where I'm not meteoric and people are still calling me a dick rider and I'm still kind of the new guy. People don't really know who I am. They're like, oh, they kind of... Being this is kind of the sweet spot when it comes to freedom of speech. But once it's going to go to that 100K live viewers level, oh my God. That's why most people choose to just be strictly entertainers. I want to be a comedian, but I also want to be a truth teller. My philosophy is seek truth through funny. Because that's what's funny to me. Truth. What's real. That's what I laugh at. It's a gut laugh.
Okay, that's why you see a lot of people when they start to speak the truth, or when you start to speak the truth to them, they either get angry or they start to laugh because they know that regardless of what you do, the truth is the truth. No kizzier.
But that's why most people choose to just be, I'm a clown entertainer, FIFA. Because saying the truth is going to offend 50% of people because most people, even more than 50%, most people believe in the lies that they're spreading. Facts. Most people don't know what the truth is. Most people believe in what the Matrix is telling them to believe in.
They're programmed.
So you can't be a truth teller without getting massive amounts of hate.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
Most people will choose to just be goofy entertainers, to kind of dumb down the content, to not think critically, play video games, go like on e-dates every single day. It's more difficult to be doing content like this, but when it starts going to another level, that's when I'm going to be scrutinized to another level. I'm already getting it now, but not to the level Tate has got it. But I already see it now. Hate from every single part of the internet.
Good talk.
People that are close to me like make videos saying, he's lost his mind, he's going insane. I've noticed the same thing that happened to Tate is happening to me. Every single day, someone else makes a new video. Sneako's going insane. And the thumbnail's me doing like a face like that to make it look like I'm mentally unhinged. And 50% of their audience, which are low-level, low-IQ bots who don't know past a tweet, they're like, yeah, he's going insane. But I still stream every single day. I'm still here, still cracking jokes. If I was insane, I got to be in a mental hospital. And they want me to do that so
he's insane because he's saying
so
the
that
truth.
They feel right. I'm not insane. Maybe you're insane for doing exactly what they told you to do.
Exactly.
And it's hard because I think any content creator who was suffering from what I've suffered from, if any content creator got as large as I was, and there was as many people cutting up their videos as they were mine, and those people had a negative agenda, we could make Mickey Mouse look evil. You could make anyone look bad. I'm not saying I haven't given them ammo. Of course, there's been the odd clip that made it easy for them. I'm saying if their intentions were to be as provocative and negative as possible, it can be done to anybody. And that's why now I need to take a break from all the podcasts I've been invited on, especially since I've been banned. I've been invited on the largest platforms in the world. I've had 100,000 emails of support. All the media channels want to talk to me. And I'm sitting here thinking, I need to make sure I'm not misunderstood. And I have to really be careful about how I do that while not backing down on my messaging, while still championing the things I champion, still believing in myself, but making sure I'm not misunderstood. And although I think on the internet I am...
That's incredibly difficult now.
It is.
And it makes the conversation disingenuine. Tristan said that before he came on my stream last week. He was trying to see my questions beforehand and trying to think past it. And I even saw it, the conversation we had on stream is completely different from a conversation that we have one-on-one. Because not only is he answering my question, but he's thinking about the millions and millions of people that are going to hear every single word he says and are waiting to twist it and turn it against him. He can't fully just answer my questions as if we're just sitting talking. Millions, the world is listening right now. How do I navigate around that? It's a task that most people are never going to be equipped to handle. But the more you do it, the easier it gets.
One of the most respected oratists that exist. I now need to once again improve myself and improve my skills and prevent anybody being able to take me out of context. I might have to form a new way for sentences to be constructed. But if that's what it takes, that's what I intend to do. Because with great influence comes absolutely and utterly great responsibility. And I do understand that. And I will blame myself for the fact that people have managed to do this to me, regardless of the fact that I did not want it to happen. So let me give a quick example of this. Before I continue, I want to say that I often speak to the absolute beauty of women. I have a very healthy relationship with my mother. I have women around me who truly and utterly love me. I have very healthy relationships with females. I have no criminal charges for crimes against females. Nobody has come forward and accused me of sexual misconduct. Please understand, we'll go into the Romanian house raid shortly. But most people in my position of fame have had women come forward and say he raped me. I'm the most famous man on the planet. There's not a single female whose face you can name or whose face you can picture that's come forward and said I've raped her. Not a single female has come forward saying I've hurt her. Not one. There's a video from 10 years ago that showed me in a sexual act with one of my ex-girlfriends.
I didn't say the word. Dumbest thing ever. And the fact that bots thought that this was actually violence are just really stupid. And if you thought that this was actually him beating. Did you see the video of Tate beating up a girl? You fucking idiot. You clearly haven't got pussy before if you think that this is a video. Are you joking?
Real talk.
She's in lingerie and someone's recording it. Why would someone record this if it was our word? They're not dumb enough to do that. And two, why is she in lingerie? This is dominant.
They're not ready for that conversation. This is just complete dominance, bro, but they're not ready for that combo.
And submissive. That's sex, stupid. You know pussy getting ass is like, did you see that video on Twitter? Get offline. Stop watching OF and Believe in Twitter and talk to a girl. This is what girls like. Uh-oh, we're gonna clip that out of context. A lot of girls like that. A lot of girls want to be controlled. A lot of girls want to be manhandled. That's the truth. If you really break it down, this is...
Yeah, they like to be dominated. That is a fact. A lot of women like to be dominated. That is a fact.
But a lot of girls... But if you say it in these words, if you say it clearly...
You're a misogynist. You're a sexist.
I'm not property. You can't blindly explain it because so many bots are just going to take it out of context and they don't understand it. But that's the nature between men and women. Dominant and submissive.
Did I say listen?
Hello everyone,
I just wanted to say something about the video that's been released.
Did you see that video of Tate hitting a girl? There you go, fucking idiot.
About me and my ex-boyfriend, Andrew Tate. Andrew is my still great friend. What you guys saw in the video, it's just what we used to do. It was just pure game. He's a great guy. He would never hurt anyone. Unless he's fighting.
He's probably making her say that. He's probably holding a gun behind her head. No, she's smiling and happy. If you think that that was violence, then you can never use the word incel on people like me again. How the really? Really? If that's violence, then man, yo, your bedroom life it's probably pretty boring.
The left understand that kink shaming is a negative thing, from my understanding. She has come forward and said that it was all just a game. And still that video is being used and sent around the internet saying I'm a woman beater. If I said it was a game and she said it was a game, who are other people to then comment on our lives, our private lives, which got leaked, and tell?
The hypocrisy of the left to talk about being all loving, love wins, don't kink shame, everyone's accepted, and then immediately there's somebody that they don't like, and what do? Make fun of, he's bald, he probably, I'm gonna peg him, you're a woman, you beat a woman, they use all the same tactics that they go and march for on somebody they don't agree with. It makes no sense. The liberal woke mob is not trying to be inclusive, they just want to push their agenda.
Tell us it's not a game. It was between two consenting adults, and we decided to do something ourselves, and we both agreed it was fine, and she has not come forward trying to accuse me of anything. So who are others to do that? That's just kink shaming.
Exactly, that's all it is.
So no women are accusing me of anything. No women are accusing me of misconduct.
If she's not even complaining about what her and Andrew are doing, why are people on the internet complaining? Why? Because y'all have no lives. Not y'all woke family, but I'm saying the rest of the world. Real talk.
I champion women all the time. I say about how they should be protected, how beautiful they are, how much I love my grandmother because of the amount of children she had.
My grandmother had 9 children because there was my father and 8 more.
Shout out to Fresh and Fit.
They all had a bunch of kids.
Shout out to them.
Blah, blah. I stood there and I looked at my 93-year-old grandmother, and there was a whole room full with maybe 70 people that came from that one woman. Isn't that remarkable? Yeah, that nobody cared about her career. Nobody asked what job she did. Nobody asked how many times she went to the club. Nobody asked if she had time to go to festivals. No, you had 70 sentient beings, including myself, full of life from one woman who dedicated herself to being a mother and a good wife. That is beautiful.
I talk about how women are unique and special, and they can do things that men can't do.
You know what they won't clip up? That part.
Exactly.
And they won't clip up the part when I say that a woman's role is just as important as a man's role when it comes to raising family and existing in the world. A mother is just as important as a CEO. They don't want to hear that. They'll insist that I'm a misogynist, I'm problematic, toxic, incel, but they won't listen to the part where I'm saying a woman's role as a mother is just as important as being the boss of a company.
And still these clips are taken out of context. Let me give you an example.
I absolutely not really love women. I have nothing against women. I believe women are the most precious things on the planet. They create life. They should be protected. They should be provided for. I would never let a woman pay for a bill. I would never let a woman, if someone touched any of my women, I would stand up and defend men by myself and risk my life to protect her. I believe that women are beautiful creatures. I just don't think that they're as emotionally calm as men in stressful situations. I don't think they can fight like a man can. And for the same reason, I would never drop my children in an all-male nursery. I think that's strange and weird. I would only drop them in an all-female nursery. Women do certain things and men do certain things.
Now, I believe everything I said. I believe in protecting women. I believe in championing women. I believe in making sure that women are provided for. However, that video was made when I was far less famous. In light of the things I just said to you earlier in this video, I understand that now, as my fame grows, even though to me my message is very clear, a man has certain roles in society, a woman has certain roles in society, and when we work as a team, when we love each other, society is better as a whole. I think that these views are not very controversial at all. I think they were mainstream only a few years ago. I don't think that they're controversial. Most of the people I meet in the world don't think they're controversial. The women I hang around with don't think they're controversial.
They're only controversial when you speak the truth. Listen, they're only controversial when you speak the truth. But when you don't speak the truth, it's not controversial, you know? It is what it is.
Controversial. Everybody agrees with me. However, the way I'm saying it, the way I'm getting the message across,
That's the problem.
because
It's the
I'm trying
way.
to be as energetic
Because it hurts my feelings. You know what I'm saying?
as possible, I understand that a small, tiny percentage of people might misunderstand me. And that didn't matter when I didn't have any views. I didn't have any followers. But now I'm the most famous man in the world. I have to be a lot more careful with how I say it. But what's really worrying is this. That clip, I would like to think, even my biggest haters can agree, is a clip that is positive about women as a whole. Perhaps you may not like my tonality or the way I structured certain sentences, but as a whole, I'm saying positive things about women. At one point during that speech, I said women do certain things and men do certain things. That clip has been taken, that cut of my language, men do certain things, women do certain things. Somebody, I have no idea who, has
They're
made
gonna
a
take it out of
TikTok
context.
where it says men do certain things, and it shows videos of me driving around in cars, spending money, and women do certain things, and it shows women cleaning.
Women do certain things and men do certain things.
Somebody off their own back, somebody else has made that video. I didn't tell them to. I don't know who they are. I don't know what their account is.
But he's responsible for it.
Exactly.
It's viral on the internet somehow. And now I look like I'm saying women should only clean and men should only run around with cars and women and money. I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all. I said that women should be protected and provided.
Yeah, they should be provisioned
because
for.
a small clip was taken out of context
Facts.
and used against me and weaponized. Now I look like I've said things I did not say.
Facts.
And no matter how positive my message about women, if the intention is to try and make me look bad, even with a clip like that, they found a way to make me look bad. That's the scary thing. That's why I've titled this video My Final Message, because I don't know, even with my entire brain, I don't know with my...
Chad, are you laughing because KSI just deleted the tweet I was talking about? For reference, KSI tweeted, "Thank God Andrew Tate was banned," and it looks like he just deleted it. Was it during the stream? That's a little bit funny. Stick to your word, man. Thought you were just an entertainer.
With all of my genius intellect, if I can find a way for nothing to be used against...
I'm gonna say this one thing, and it's not because of what Sneeko just said about KSI, but just in general. If you come out and put out a tweet in the world, stand on it, bro. Stand on it. Real talk. As a man, you got to learn how to stand on what you believe in. KSI in this situation, if you had a problem with Tate, stand on it, bro. Don't delete it now, because you're making it seem as if somebody can't easily screenshot it, bro. And you have to understand, once it's on the internet, it's on the internet forever. So I bet you somebody can easily trace up that tweet. Trace up that tweet. You know what I'm saying?
Against me. It's extremely difficult. One line out of context has made me look bad, and millions of people saw that, and people didn't see the long format video, and they've deduced that I hate women and that women should only clean, when really I was trying to stick up for and protect women and give my true views on women. And this comes full circle to the Instagram ban. I am very understanding of why Instagram felt like it was necessary to ban me. I am not mad at Instagram. I'm a professional, and as a professional, I'm not an emotional person. I do not do emotional responses. Although I believe it's unfair, although I believe I've been unfairly vilified, although I believe it's not the right thing to do because it doesn't allow me to shift the public consciousness in a constructive manner, although I think it would have been better for them to say, Andrew, certain things are being taken out of context. You need to be careful that doesn't happen. A lot of people listen to you.
Isn't it funny how KSI deleting a tweet that said, "Thank God Andrew Tate was banned," is a perfect example of the analogy Andrew was making, how people will just make negative videos about him, not because they actually believe it, but because people will make negative tweets and people will say negative things about you if it's trendy. It's the perfect example of the clout-chasing nature of social media. KSI tweeted, "Thank God Andrew Tate was banned," and deleted it once he started getting negative backlash. But the reason he tweeted it in the first place was to get likes and retweets. So most of these people, most of these influencers, I'm trying to tell you, they don't speak with any conviction at all. It's just purely for entertainment. I'm trying to entertain too. I am an entertainer as well, but I speak the truth through truth.
Facts.
Seek truth through funny. It's a perfect example. You tweet it because you know it's going to go viral, and then you delete it when you get backlash. That's not being a man of conviction. That's not speaking from the heart.
That's why I said, as a man, when you make certain moves, stand on that shit. Why? Because the thing is that people will respect you a lot more if you stand on what you believe in than to delete certain things when you get backlash. The problem is that as unfortunate as this reality is, people are weak-minded, bro. They get backlash and they don't know how to take it, bro. You got to stand on that shit. You know? Stand on it, man.
That's speaking for clout and for likes and for retweets. And that's why social media has gotten twisted. And I want you to hold me accountable to that, Chad. If you see me do some fuck shit like that, call me out on that too.
And I could have become a champion for women's rights. I am not emotional. I understand why they did it, because that's a perfect example of how people are desperate to try and make the things I say look worse than they are, and using social media platforms to purport negative views of women. And it doesn't matter if it's a negative view of a woman, negative view of men, negative view of a sexuality. It doesn't matter what it is. It should be stopped. I agree with that. And Instagram or Meta have a responsibility to show that they are listening to the public. They want to show that they're listening. I have some good people on the case, and dialogue with Instagram I would like to open, and we'll proceed as God sees fit. If God believes that I do not need an Instagram page, then I will not have one. If God believes that I do, then I shall. This is not just about Instagram. This is just me saying to Instagram that I totally understand. I just wanted to make it clear that I didn't want these things to be said.
Facts.
That clip of the cleaning and me being taken out of context has no benefit for me. Everyone dislikes me on the internet. Certain people watch it and know it's not true. The ones who've watched the longer format stuff of my videos and they're fans of mine, fine. So certain people remain neutral because they know it's false. But people who don't then dislike me. My family gets death threats. I get death threats. Hate is spread online. Like, there's no benefit for me. If I could stop that happening, I absolutely would. Which is why I want to adjust my messaging and adjust the way I talk. I don't want that to happen. That doesn't help me. I would love for that to never happen. And Instagram think the way for that to stop happening is to ban me. I agree it should stop happening, but I don't think banning me is the answer.
It's going to help.
Because there will always be someone else.
There's always going to be somebody else, or let's say, for example, there isn't somebody else. People are still going to take your clips and still post it. So what was the point of banning you? You know?
And there'll be a new hate mob and new out of context videos. And this is a problem which is larger than Andrew Tate. This is an internet problem. This is a problem.
Listen up now. There's 22,000 people watching. I'm next. Tristan said he's going to pass the torch to me. I have to spread this message now that they're banned. They are going to try to ban me next. They are actively trying to. They put a strike on my channel last season for nudity when I was doing push-ups with the shirt on and pants on. I got a nudity strike and I wasn't able to stream for a week. Only I got it off because I appealed it. They are actively trying to silence me. I'm shadow banned on Instagram. I just got the @Sneeko, by the way. So go follow me on other platforms. You don't have to if you don't want to. But if you fuck with the message, @TheSneeko on Twitter, @Sneeko on Instagram. You can find. I'm going to find another platform to go to when they do inevitably ban me. But pay attention now, because now that they're banned, I'm next. They will try to cancel me more. They will try to clip up my words out of context. They will try to make me look bad. Remember this moment. Remember this right now. It's predictable. These bots are very predictable. They're miserable, they're sad, their lives aren't great. Mental health is declining because of social media. And as a result, instead of getting mad at the people who made them upset, they get mad at the people trying to expose the truth.
That's a fact.
They kill the messenger instead of trying to figure out why they even believe that in the first place.
Problem with short format video, short attention spans, nobody looking into anything in detail, things taken out of context. This is a really big problem that the world has to address that goes beyond me. And if I've had to martyr my presence on social media to raise a conversation, which is going to be a net benefit for the world as a whole, then I'm happy with that. I'm happy if people go, you know what, this happened to Andrew Tate, it's now happening to other people. We have to change the way we review censorship, banning, content creation, content proportion, all these things. That's fine. That's the life path which has been chosen for me. I just want to make it clear that I don't like when that happens. I don't want that to happen myself because I don't gain anything from that. On Instagram, absolutely no rules were broken. My captions were just poetry that I wrote.
They banned him because he was a dangerous individual. Do you see how bullshit that is? If you defend that, and if you side with the Matrix banning somebody because they're a dangerous individual,
you're a drone.
You're a bot.
You're a drone.
You're not having a unique opinion. You're doing and saying what they want you to do and say. You are
Exactly. You're doing exactly what they want you
slave
to
to
do
the program.
because you don't have a mind of your own. You're not a free thinker, bro. And it's so sad for you to not be a free thinker in 2022. Like, no cap.
Programming. Are you for censorship? You're really celebrating somebody getting banned for absolutely no other reason than the fact that people don't like him?
Like him?
Are you that sensitive? Are you that close-minded and low IQ that you can't handle disagreeing with someone?
Because they have a difference of opinion.
Anybody who celebrates this is full of shit. Not intentionally, but literally. Oh, God, this shit makes me... Oh, shit, where's the link?
Pictures were just lifestyle. Car, house, boat. I never broke any rules on Instagram. I never had any strikes. I never done anything wrong on Instagram. The only rule infringements on Instagram were my comment section, where hate mobs inspired by these videos that we've been discussing, these videos which were deliberately taken out of context and deliberately fictional, hate mobs were inspired at the end of YouTube videos to go to my Instagram and insult me. So the only infringements you would find on Instagram is in my comment section, where thousands of people who were sent by random YouTubers who don't like me would come, threaten to kill me, mock my dead father, threaten to kill my brother.
That's a
threaten to
sickening.
kill my family, threaten to find me. These were the only rules.
Listen, I'm gonna say this one thing right now, woke family. For those people out there that are very, very demonic, sick, and twisted, that make fun of people's deceased family members, you better pray that the Almighty doesn't decide to eliminate you from this life, because if you by you saying something as stupid and as ignorant as that, like, the one thing you should never ever do is talk about another person's family, bro. I just don't understand that. People are sick. We live in a sick world, bro.
Infringements on Instagram. Things written against me by other YouTubers, telling them to go and do it, while all I wrote is poetry. And on repeat, multiple times I said on my stories, if you're going to defend me, do it respectfully. Even if people hate me, even if they're insulting me, don't insult them back. Hate doesn't beat hate. It just creates a brick wall. If somebody says they hate me, explain to them calmly that they don't understand the context. Show them a longer format video. Show them how I stick up for marginalized people. Explain I'm a person of color and I've been marginalized in my childhood.
It doesn't matter to them. Their attention spans are so bad
They don't care.
that they just want to see a clip. I don't like it. They can't think past level 2. That's how dumb you've become because of TikTok and Instagram.
Show them how I had a gay friend when I was a kid. Show them how I stick up for women. Don't just reply saying you're stupid, you don't know the truth. Don't fight hate with hate. I was encouraging all of my followers and all of my fans to be respectful people, even when sticking up for me. Once again, trying to turn negativity into positivity via social media. My Instagram had no infringements. That was the only anti-policy things on the page, things targeted against me. And I didn't really complain to Instagram because I wasn't taught as a person to go complaining to authority. I thought, this is the internet. That's how it works. Just ignore it. Don't worry about it. Soon the truth of your heart and your character will come through. Soon people will see the light and they'll change, because that's the way the world is. People often flip-flop on issues. This is how things happen. The redemption arc is going to be beautiful. I really, truly believe that within a few years, people are going to understand that I'm a force for good in the world. And often, people say, well, don't have Tate as a male role model. There's better ones. Where are they? There are no other male role models. Because to inspire the youth of men, you need to be aspirational. They have to look at you and want to be like you. And there's no other male role models that have had the tenacity or the aggressiveness to have such a fantastic life as I have, that they're going to listen to me. They listen to me because of my authority and my...
That's why I'm asking for help. Even though Tristan said pass the torch and lead the fight to bring masculinity back, I'm like, I'm a YouTuber. I don't have like that much business experience. I haven't been a professional fighter. I've, sparred a couple cops in a gym for free in Brooklyn, but I've been doing YouTube for 9 years. I got 1 million subs making cinematic videos and artsy stuff. I've been a stand-up comedian. I've worked for Uber Eats and Subway. I'm 23. I have limited life experience. I cannot lead the fight to bring masculinity back on my own. I need you to help me. I need you to clip up the stream and spam it on TikTok because now they've banned him and this message needs to be heard. We need to spread truth. I can't do it on my own. Other people who are like-minded and understand the truth, work with me. Get on my stream. Have conversations. Even if you disagree, let's go back and forth and actually have dialogue. Let's bring back freedom of speech. I can't do it on my own.
Real talk. Freedom of speech has been taken away. They don't want you to be masculine in 2022 anymore. That's a fact. That is a big fizzy fact.
He comes from my life experiences. If my mentality is so wrong, how have I managed to amass?
Guys, we're gonna watch probably like 10, 15 more minutes of this, and then we're gonna end the stream for tonight. But actually, no, hold on 1 second. I'll be back in a few minutes. Be back in like a minute. All right, guys, let's finish this up. All right, hold on.
Enormous. How have I managed to amass huge social status? How have I managed to physically dominate the planet? I've done things that men respect and they look up to me. So that's why I can lead them. And I understand my messaging should change in light of the fact that I can be taken out of context. But me being alive on the internet will allow me to lead men in a very positive direction. Banning me and deleting me leaves a black hole where they say there'll be another masculine leader. But the men don't listen. The youth of today won't listen to anybody else. That's the reason I'm the most famous man on the planet, because none of these other people have the authority to affect them like I do. It's me or nobody. And I truly believe that me, with reformed messaging, now understanding of my newfound fame, is so much better for the world than nobody. Because nobody just leads to black holes of who knows what, and it can't be controlled. And that's where the internet is truly dangerous. Speaking of Instagram, I was understanding in recent weeks of how these negative fictional stories of me were gaining traction, and I wanted to try very, very hard to counter them. I put a post on Instagram, which you can see here, where I explained that the things I've said have been taken out of context. And just because I champion men's rights does not mean I dislike women. I think that men are underrepresented in the world today.
They are.
And as people often say, men need to speak up. I'm here speaking for the men. I'm here trying to speak up. People are speaking up because of me. We're raising important issues in the world today because of me. Deleting me and blocking me is only going to hurt men as a whole and increase all the problems we see with the youth of the men today. So I put a post up and I said, listen, people misunderstand me. I'm going to donate money to a female charity that supports women against domestic violence, and I'm also going to donate money to a charity that supports men's mental health. Just because I support men doesn't mean I hate women. I love people. I'm a person full of love, and I want people as a whole to elevate.
Men are oppressed in the West, not women. There's a documentary that perfectly outlines it. It's called The Red Pill. It was directed by a woman who went...
Men are definitely oppressed. And I think the most oppressed people in the West, unfortunately, are white men. Because like situations in which minority men can speak about white men, if they speak about it, oh yeah, you're a neo-Nazi, you're a racist, and so on and so forth. It is what it is.
And as a feminist, ready to debunk the men's rights activists. And then as she went and investigated the community, she realized, oh, men are oppressed. All my feminism ideology, I've been brainwashed. Women don't have any rights that men have. Women are not wage gap, bullshit. Catcalling, that's it. Catcalling. There's nothing.
That's normal,
There's
though.
absolutely no rights that women don't have that men have in the West.
Exactly.
Men are now, the average man is invisible now. The average man is constantly put down, and we're supposed to believe all women.
Facts.
Women can ruin your life with one false accusation. That's more power than getting catcalled.
That's a fact. And we talked about it a couple of days ago when we reacted to Lofi's video. They went to the amusement park and where they live in Minnesota, right? And he basically went up to this one woman and was joking around with her and said that you cut the line, that you can't cut the line. But he was saying it as a joke because he's an entertainer, he's a prankster. This woman literally went to security and said that him, his cameraman, and the black dude he was with, I actually have to get his name, that they sexually assaulted her and her friend, or at least her, that they grabbed her. It's like, now they've been trespassed for a whole year and they cannot come back on premises and they almost got arrested. Off of what a woman said. We believe in a believe all women society, bro. This country, this society, this world will start to get better when masculinity comes back into its entirety, bro. Real talk. If men realized their value and became masculine, this society would shape up for the best. No kizzy herb. Let's continue.
Not just men or women. I promised $1 to each charity for every like. That's $2 per like total, $1 to each charity. At the time of my banning, I had 550,000 likes or something like that, I believe. And if I hear from Instagram, what I would like them to do is to clarify the final likes amount on that post so that I can stick to my word, because that's what I am. I'm a man of my word. I was not doing it purely just to post the receipt on social media. I was doing it because
They won't clarify it. They never want to hear about him again.
I genuinely believe it's a good thing to do. And I would like Instagram to confirm the final amount of likes on that picture so I can donate the $1.2, $1.3 million that I promised I would donate to both of those charities independently. I would even be happy for Instagram to select the two charities and confirm and verify my donation. I'd be very happy to do that because I said I was going to do that. And I'm a man of my word. I stick to my word. What's interesting to me is when I put that post up, if anybody else had promised to do that, there'd be massive positive attention. But everybody ignored it. Nobody in the media wanted to post about it. None of the YouTubers wanted to talk about it. Nobody wanted to talk about it because it doesn't get clicks. You only get clicks for hating me. You don't get clicks for telling the truth about me. So nobody's interested in telling the truth. Everybody ignored my charitable donations. If anybody else donated $1.3 million to charity, I'd like to think there'd be some sort of headline. But if I want to do it, nobody cares.
You're a bad dude. You're a villain.
That's very, very unfair. What's also unfair is the people who say that they care about women and they're worried about misogyny and using this to
the men that are claiming that they care about women that don't like you are just fake. Straight up. Because they're not living what they preach, which is majority of men, you know? It is what it is. When you see a man for the way he truly is, you don't get pissed about it. You don't get mad about it. You know, it is what it is. They're fake. They're just trying to make it seem like with the Jake Paul situation. Jake Paul is teaming up with the people that don't like you to make it seem as if he actually messes with those women, but in all reality, he doesn't. It's sad.
To attack me and try and have me deleted from the internet. They
Real
don't
talk.
donate any money to charity. They don't help women. They don't want to do anything but spread hate. Right now, they hate Andrew Tate. When I'm gone, they'll hate someone else. They'll find someone else's comment section to go in.
But just to make everything seem better, which it is, Andrew, before they hated you, they hated Kevin Samuels. Now after Kevin Samuels, it was you. Now they're gonna hate Sneeko, and after Sneeko, they're gonna hate me. It is what it is. You know?
Fuck. To insult, threaten their lives, insult their dead parents, hate. They're not going to donate money to charity. They're not going to help women.
Why would
They're just
they?
going to sit there and hate me until I'm gone and then hate somebody else. This is a hate mob. And they're pretending that they care about women. They don't care about anybody. They're just hateful. And by Instagram allowing the hate mob to be successful, it inspires further hate mobs. It inspires further hate, further division. I understand that Instagram and Meta and Facebook need to, as a whole, keep their fingers on the pulse of the national opinions. I understand that. But once we have confirmed that the national opinion is misunderstood, then we have to sit there and go, do we want to bow to hate mobs, which are accelerating and encouraging people to become more hateful for views and to get people banned via hate? When these people may be actually doing good things to the real issue as a whole, is this a good idea for us to now bow and bend to these people? And this is a really interesting conversation which can be had for many, many hours about the internet, about society, about sociology, about psychology, about so many things. This spans in so many different directions. It's actually very, very interesting. It's an interesting conversation to have because we're living in an unprecedented time of humanity where the world is so connected.
Yeah.
And we're all kind of unprepared for it, right? It's very, very interesting. I find it super interesting. It's something I've been talking about internally, and I would love to talk about more in person. And when I decide to finally come back to public consciousness and do podcasts and that kind of thing, it's something we will be talking about because it's a very, very interesting subject. I'm teaching that it takes tenacity and
unmatched perspicacity,
toughness, to become a credible man of merit and value. I think even my hardcore detractors would agree with me. If you're in trouble and you call the police, you want a tenacious, tough man to appear to help you, to protect you. There's nothing wrong with being a tenacious, ambitious, tough man. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with strength, mental and physical. These things are used to protect people.
They convinced you. You got convinced that being a strong man is toxic.
Facts.
They convinced you that being
That
a
you're weak.
natural man
Is
acting on
weak.
your basic organic desires is problematic.
It's
you
not.
got programmed.
Facts.
That's why
You
your
got
nails are
indoctrinated.
painted. That's why you're 6'3", 230 pounds. Yeah, this is yeah, I think that like platforming these people is bad. No man should sound like that. Why do you talk like that? I don't know, this is kind of weird. If you really think about it, what happened to you? Where'd you go wrong?
Protect men and women. This is a protective state. You can't protect anything if you're not strong. Strength is a beautiful thing. The world is built on the backs of strong men. And I'm trying to teach men to be strong again because it makes the men feel happier inside, it solves men's mental health, and it also makes the world a genuinely better place. People are taking my lessons and me trying to teach
Gym is probably the best therapy for men.
strength
Yeah,
and
facts.
misconstruing them, saying that I'm trying to teach men to be oppressive or aggressive. That's absolutely not the case. And at the same time, they're ignoring my charitable donations to the world. And at the same time, other media creators are rewarded for purporting lies and spinning lies about me. And then at the same time, the media buys into this. And at the same time, we're in the current situation where this entire storm has appeared, where I've genuinely only been a net positive on the world for anyone who's watched my content in all of its long form.
Vouch.
When Instagram tells me and confirms to me the number of likes on that post, I'm going to make the donation.
They won't.
As well as that, the future for me, now that I will be a lot more careful and a lot more selective with the social media I'll be producing, if any at all, is I'm going to be starting a foundation, the Tate Foundation, which is going to be dedicated towards charitable acts of both genders. I have been very, very private about certain elements of my personal life, as has my brother.
For both genders? But what about if you're gender fluid? What about I'm gender neutral? Are you going to assume that there's only two genders? What do you mean?
Yeah. What we have to cut. They want us to. They don't want to. The left wants us to count the men, the women, the unicorns, the sharks, the bamboo sticks, the fans, the helicopters, because all of these things I just named right now are genders. You can identify as what you want to identify as, you know? Bull. It's complete bull. There are only two genders, men and women, man. Let's get it.
Both, there's infinite.
Ready?
However, my brother has a daughter. She's beautiful. She's my niece. I don't want her to grow up in a world where women are hated. I don't want her to grow up in a world where men are oppressive and hurting women. Why would I possibly want that? I want her to find a strong man who can protect her, who can provide for her, who can make sure she's safe, but I don't want anything bad to ever happen to her. My own personal circumstances regarding family are something that are once again confidential, but I can confirm to you that the last thing I would ever want is for women to be marginalized in the future, for genuine misogyny or sexism to take hold on the planet. I would completely and utterly be very unhappy with that for my own personal reasons. The Tate Foundation is going to be dedicated towards helping men's mental health and also protecting women from violence against men. You're going to see in the upcoming months and years that I'm not somebody who's doing this just for likes or doing this just for views, that I'm somebody who's doing this because he genuinely has the capability to help people. And I believed I was helping people via social media, and if that's going to be taken away from me, then I will
do it in other
my
forms.
Philanthropy in other realms. Please, if you want to have more information, you can go to cobratate.com, sign up to the emailing list, and my emailing list is going to start detailing all of my charitable acts from here on out. I'll be spending millions and millions of dollars on charitable acts for the rest of my human life. God has blessed me with fantastic wealth. It's more money than I will ever personally need. I already was doing my philanthropy through encouraging men, and if that's going to be destroyed, then I've decided to start the Tate Foundation and specifically help with financial aid, women, protection from violence primarily. I'm in Romania, which is very close to Ukraine, and there's a lot of problems there with violence against women and women trying to escape the country, and men's mental health issues. And this will all be.
But what about me? I'm the they, them. Where's my foundation? Cancel Tate.
Detail in my newsletter at cobratate.com, and I encourage people to follow. My other charitable acts are things that I haven't really advertised or talked about. I always felt a bit embarrassed to tell people about the charity I do, because when I do charity, I think it should be from the heart, not for likes. But I understand now that all of the media is saying I'm a bad guy, and I'm not even telling the world all the good I do, because I don't think that's the right thing to do. I think you should just give from the goodness of your heart, not for attention.
Exactly.
But that's unfair for people to be saying I'm a bad person when I run a shelter for dogs in Romania because of the stray dog problem, because of the fact that I just recently rebuilt an entire orphanage because there's an orphanage problem in Romania. There'll be a plaque called the Tate Orphanage on this orphanage, and you can see here messages of thank yous from the children and the woman who's running it. I did this months ago before anybody disliked me. I didn't even tell anybody. I just rebuilt an orphanage and didn't use it for positive PR, didn't try and put it on the internet and get a good spin from it, didn't try to get likes. I was just trying to help people. The fact that the only charitable act I've ever advertised was their Instagram post. So I find it very hypocritical when these hate mobs come and say I'm a bad person, when I'm the one who's out here spending his money and time trying to help the world. And all they're doing is telling their followers to insult me on my Instagram.
Exactly, and mock you.
Which one of those two things has a genuinely positive effect on humanity?
But you've been so brainwashed that you think you're doing good by sending hate on somebody that you've been lied to about. You thought, trafficker, So you think you're doing something good by like making fun of his parents, making fun of him,
It's crazy.
making fun of his image, wishing death?
Death.
On another man. You've been so brainwashed that you think that wishing death on somebody else is a good thing.
It's a good thing.
And I realized that myself. I was shooting a movie and I had makeup to make it look like I just got beat up. And seeing the amount of people on Twitter celebrate my downfall was mind-blowing. The amount of people who publicly, even with their faces still there, I made sure to clip up all of them, to remember there are thousands of people out there that literally want me to get hurt. Not only want me to get hurt, but will publicly celebrate when it happens. They've been so brainwashed that they think that that's good.
Exactly.
Because they don't like what I say. They disagree.
Exactly. That's what it is.
I'm genuinely not the bad person here. However, I will state again, I do take absolute responsibility because that's who I am as a man. I'm a personal responsibility.
All right, guys, we're going to skip to the end. I just want to see how long this thing is.
Impish Sneaker, your success has inspired me to make content. Please react to my shorts. Okay, I will. The Creativity Kit, one more time, thecreativitykit.com just dropped. I'm going to teach you all the ways that I know how to make content, how to go viral online, and also how to find your own voice. A lot of people don't even know their basic passion. If you want to find out how to tap into the creative...
Yeah, okay. So definitely credit to Sneeko, credit to Fresh and Fit, credit to Andrew Tate. A lot of good points we discussed tonight. Understand? But yeah, this is gonna be into this live stream video, guys. If y'all like this video live stream, make sure y'all go spam that like button, leave comments, share this video with your friends, subscribe to the channel at WokeEbucks, WOKEEBUKS. Tap the notification bell to get all the latest videos that I post. Patreon link will be down in the description below, also with social media links. So make sure you go give those a check. But without further ado, this is gonna be into this live stream video. This is WokeEbucks.